All right, gentlemen, thank you and welcome to Nashville's West End. The West meets the East tonight. Ole Miss and Vandy, two teams trying to gain bowl eligibility. Rebels need just one more win. Vandy needs two. With that, we welcome you this chilly night in Nashville. Tom Hart alongside Heisman Trophy winner and College Football Hall of Famer Andre Ware. Bowl eligibility is a huge carrot for both of these teams.
Yeah, for Vandy, it's win the next two tonight and then next week against Tennessee. How they get it done tonight, a lot of defense. Then for Ole Miss, it's just one. Just win tonight and you're bowl eligible, but they want to finish on a strong note. They want to win out the rest of the year.
Maybe they have the quarterback to do just that. When you talk Ole Miss football, nowhere celebrates their past as much as they celebrate their future than when it comes to being a quarterback at Ole Miss. Now, Shea Patterson finds himself at that intersection between patience and expectation. So who better to walk us through that than Mississippi's Nobel Poet Laureate, William Faulkner, with quotes that could be attributed to him and certainly apply to football. Don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself.
Yeah, don't go out. Don't try to be Archie Manning or Eli Manning or Chad Kelly for that matter. Just be yourself. Lead your football team. He was able to do that last week against Texas A&M. Just made play after play.
William Faulkner is an Ole Miss product. He's from Oxford. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail.
Yeah, second half, he was just spot on, leading his team from a huge deficit. They wanted to carry him off last week in his first start. Tough to win at Kyle Field.
No Ole Miss quarterback had ever put up numbers like Shea Patterson did, and he did it in his very first start. 338 yards through the air, 400 total yards. And on this chilly night in Nashville, it'll be a challenge for Ole Miss to rise to the occasion once again. For more on that, let's take you down the field. Cole Kublik standing by with Rebels head coach Hugh Freeze.
Coach Freeze, what will be different in this game? Start number 2 for Shea Patterson than last week, his first career start.
Well, it's colder. The ball will feel different, and you know, but other than that, the defense is different. Vandy does a really nice job on defense, but we're able to put more things in this week. I think that he has a better understanding of. So he's pretty calm. I think he'll do well. Got to handle the weather and the wind and all of that. Throwing into it's a little different. I think he had a good warm-up, so I'm excited about his second start.
You've discussed the weather a few times. It sounds odd here in late November, but you haven't been in anything near this chilly. How can you prepare for it?
You know, it would have been nice to have a couple days this week that were cold that we could have got out in the end, but we didn't. It was 80 degrees yesterday in Oxford, so you know, this will be our first experience, but it's probably theirs too. So that's we got to get adjusted to it and handle it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Cole, thanks. Hugh Freeze was so desperate he considered turning the AC in the indoor facility down as far as it will go. Now, as far as Vandy's concerned, they may have the SEC Defensive Player in the Year in linebacker Zach Cunningham.
Yeah, he is a sideline-to-sideline player, guy that can just make plays all over the field. You look at what he's done this year, over 100 tackles. That leads the SEC. Can he get to the quarterback? Can he make plays behind the line of scrimmage? Yes, he can. 15.5 tackles for a loss. That's second in the SEC, one of the best in the entire country.
Ole Miss won the toss. They've elected to receive, so they'll put their freshman quarterback out there to get started. What a beautiful night here in Nashville's West End. This is SEC Saturday night. Two teams hoping to make it to bowl eligibility. Carlos Davis is back to receive the kick from Tommy Openshaw, and we are underway in Nash Vegas. Davis on the run from the 3, and he stumbles over the 15 out to the 20. It is certainly a chilly night, and so freshman quarterback Shea Patterson will take the field. And 43-degree temperatures, and it's only going to get chillier here tonight. Ole Miss has not played a game anything close to what they're seeing tonight temperature-wise. But then again, what does Shea Patterson know? It's only his second start ever. 8 days ago, he was a scout team quarterback.
Yeah, I was saying, and you watch him blow those hands. As a quarterback, that's what you're going to do. Keep your hands warm all game long so you can feel the laces on the football.
They'll go play action on the first play. Patterson will scramble just as he did last week, and a little pump fake will get him a few more yards. It's a scramble of 7. Patterson bounced around a few different spots growing up. Hometown Shreveport, Louisiana. Finished his high school career at IMG Academy in Florida. Also spent some time in Texas. Out of the pistol now on 2nd and 3. Akeem Judd behind him, and he'll check with the sideline. Andre, Ole Miss only ran basically 4 plays in the second half last week in the comeback win at A&M.
Well, certainly enough, and you wanted to simplify it for Shea Patterson.
A high snap. We'll keep an eye on that. Akeem Judd sheds a would-be tackler, and he gets upended just shy of midfield. 22-yard run for Akeem Judd.
Yeah, this is just the start you wanted if you're Hugh Freeze, and then that's when they kick the tempo up. Nice run to start it for Shea Patterson, and you get Akeem Judd into the game as well.
Vanderbilt showing blitz against Shea Patterson, and when you blitz a team like this, you got to be quick. They get the ball out in about 1.7 seconds.
And showing it, want to show him a lot of different looks tonight, trying to confuse him.
Freshman's got it, and he's got room. Patterson popped hard just past the 40 by Ladarius Wiley, a 14-yard run. How much do they want Shea Patterson to run tonight?
Well, not a whole lot. They want him to sit back and read things out, but they're certainly not going to handcuff him because he brings that element. He gives him a different element at quarterback than even that of Chad Kelly. A little bit better runner than Chad Kelly.
Kelly led the SEC in total offense when he went down with a knee injury, underwent surgery this week in Pensacola, Florida.
Well, they're going to check out of it. We're going to bring the nickel from over the slot.
Patterson on the run, fires complete to DeMaurier Stringfellow, out of bounds after a gain of 15 and a first down for the Rebels.
Well, when you can play, it doesn't take long for it to show up, and Shea Patterson can just flat out play. When we were there earlier in the year watching him go through practice, thought he had the best arm talent at Ole Miss, but he was behind a senior, wasn't going to see the field until next year. All of a sudden, Chad Kelly gets hurt, and then enters Shea Patterson, who has just been just about automatic in his first 2 starts.
He's one of only 5 freshman quarterbacks to start in Ole Miss football history. He's the only freshman to start multiple games. Judd, right side, has room, cuts it back, and gets down nearly to the 10-yard line before Landon Stokes popped him down. A 13-yard gain, and the Rebels marching on their opening drive.
Hugh Freeze was worried about the weather. It seemed as though it's Vanderbilt who the weather is affecting more here early. They can't really wrap up. Derek Mason talked to us yesterday about that very thing, tackling well in space because of this spread offense of Ole Miss and how fast they like to go. You're going to be faced with some one-on-one tackling situations, and you got to make tackles when you're presented that way.
Derek Mason doubles as the defensive coordinator, looking for the 5th win this season. Vandy's most since 2013. They could get to a bowl with 5 wins. We'll talk more about that later. Meanwhile, Ole Miss has gained at least 10 yards on each of its last 4 plays on this opening drive.
Boy, you're playing a cat and mouse game. They show the safeties like they're going to come, then they back out, force Ole Miss to make a change. Now they're coming.
Derek Mason told us yesterday he wants to be more aggressive. They bring an extra man. Patterson fires incomplete, trying to find Stringfellow, and coverage there by a fired-up Torn Nagastro.
Yeah, this is where Ole Miss will have the advantage on a lot of defenses because the receivers are so big. Stringfellow at 6'2". You got Attaboy Joe at 6'3". DeMarcus Hodge 6'2". And then you got A.J. Brown, the true freshman, big, strong guy at 6'1". Not a whole lot of 5'8" receivers running around Ole Miss.
2nd and goal from the 10. Patterson will take off on a design run, changes direction, and he gets to a knee right before Zach Cunningham got to him, and that's going to leave 3rd and goal.
This kid is just a baller. He is. Sometimes he'll get himself into trouble because he's so talented. He's a great passer of the football that he'll try to squeeze it at some points going forward, squeeze it into a window, but he'll realize this is a little bit different animal in the SEC than what he faced in high school, but he passed the test last week.
Evan Ingram, the tight end in the slot. 3rd and goal after a loss of 2. Patterson looking for Ingram, fires to the outside, complete to Van Jefferson for a gain of 6. And on 4th and goal, they'll bring out the kicking team and the most accurate kicker in the SEC, Gary Wunderlich.
Van Jefferson really benefited last year from having that redshirt year. They really helped him to learn the offense and earn a starting job this year. You know, he's the son of Sean Jefferson, the great NFL wide receiver, and now a receiver coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Chip shot field goal from 23 is good from Gary Wunderlich. And Ole Miss on its opening drive able to cash it in to take a lead. 1 win from bowl eligibility here in Nashville. Opening drive results in a field goal for Ole Miss, 3-0 the lead. Vandy will get first crack at offense in a moment. Let's check out where to watch, partner. What are you looking for tonight?
Yeah, if you're Ole Miss, you can't say Patterson stay hot in cold weather. I think he's proven that he can do just that on that first drive. And then for Vanderbilt, they've got to go to Ralph Webb. They've got to be able to run the football effectively to keep some pressure off Kyle Shermer. He's going to see plenty of it from Marquise Haynes and DJ Jones, a couple of guys along the defensive line that can really, really get after the quarterback.
Darius Sims, one of the most dynamic returners in the SEC, takes this one 2 yards deep and will bring it out. Sims to the 15. And he gets popped there and spins his way nearly to the 20-yard line. This is a Vanderbilt offense which scores less than 20 points a game, 13th in the SEC. They're led by Kyle Shermer, the sophomore from Philadelphia. Big drop back quarterback, 6'4", 223.
Yeah, got to take care of the football this week. Last week threw 2 interceptions against Missouri. 58%. The completion percentage is up from his season percentage last week, but 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, leading a little more productivity from him at the quarterback spot.
Ralph Webb has been hobbled by a left ankle injury. He starts at tailback as they motion Nathan Marcus, the tight end. Webb 150 yards from the Vandy all-time rushing record. Straight ahead, and Webb able to pick up 1 before he is bottled up by a gang of rebels. Here's the starters for Vandy.
Yeah, just the big offensive line that can get after you, but the story is always Ralph Webb, Mr. Consistency. He needs just 150 yards, as you mentioned, to become the school's all-time leading rushing record, or leader in rushing yards. Zach Stacy currently holds that record for Vanderbilt.
He already has a school record 688 carries now after that first tote. 2nd and 9 for Vandy. Twins to the right. They swing it out to Caleb Scott. He's got a blocker in front. Now he's got the sideline. Caleb Scott tripped up by Miles Hartsfield, a gain of 14. Here's how the Rebels line up the Landshark defense.
Yeah, one of my favorite one of the guy I really, really like for Ole Miss is DJ Jones, the big fella inside, East Mississippi Community College transfer, came into Ole Miss. He can flat out get after you. Reminds me a lot of an ex-teammate with the Detroit Lions and Jerry Ball. Just a big plugger in the middle, athletic, strong, just makes plays.
Dallas Rivers is now in a tailback for Vandy. They'll go running back by committee tonight. Rivers runs into his own man, but sneaks through for a positive gain. It'll be a 6-yard carry for Rivers, a junior from Stone Mountain, Georgia. And Vandy's going tempo here.
I like it. Derek Mason wants to change things up offensively, and I think Ole Miss is ready for this.
Darius Sims on the jet sweep, has it, and he's got the edge. Sims with a first down carry for the Commodores, gain of 10. Zedrick Woods forces him out to the Ole Miss bench.
Nice stiff arm on Dedrick Jones, who's starting tonight for Tony Bridges, the other corner. Nice job of speed. When he's in the game, they love running him on speed sweeps. That's Sims' 22nd carry of the year.
Tony Bridges out with an oblique injury. Sims team high 86 yards last week in Vandy's loss at Faurot Field against Missouri. Shermer on play action. Has the ball tipped in the backfield, incomplete. Tony Connor was there.
Do it all kind of nickel. They call it the Husky position for Ole Miss. Really a nickel. He can play everywhere. He can play as a linebacker. He's great in coverage. He can rush the passer. He had a nasty knee injury last year, and you see the brace. Still trying to work himself back to 100% as a senior. He's played a lot of football, been a starter since his freshman year at Ole Miss.
He had a great start against Vandy his freshman year. Had an interception on the very first play of the game, the very first play of his career. Back to the ground game, and Webb running right behind his left guard, Ian Pfeiffer. DJ Jones with the stop after a gain of 3.
And just trying to get back on schedule after an incompletion on first down. It's something where you get third and manageable. And Webb, he's a patient runner, Tom. You're going to see him get himself in a hurry. He'll allow blocks to set themselves, and he's got enough speed to burst through.
That ankle injury has really bothered him. He hasn't had more than 13 carries in a single game all month.
And especially with the weather, it's going to nag him all night.
Vandy was just flat terrible on third downs last week against Missouri. This is 3rd and 7. They show safety blitz. They'll pull off. Shermer lets this one go deep down the right side looking for Scott. And Vandy will have to punt it away. Coverage from Jalen Jones and C.J. Hampton there helping.
Yeah, went to Caleb Scott earlier in this drive. He's really Mr. third down. A lot of his catches come on third downs, 14 on the year, and a majority of those is when Kyle Shermer's trying to convert on third down.
So Vanderbilt just 3 for its last 15 on third down. Sam Loy, freshman from San Clemente, California, to punt it away. Carlos Davis stands at his own 5. Not a good kick from Loy. It'll take a Vandy hop. And Davis is going to field this one on the run and gets clocked at the 30.
Well, a heads-up play by Davis, because that was going to bounce about another at least 5 yards in favor of Vandy.
23-yard punt, 7-yard return. Marcus with the tackle.
SEC Saturday Night is brought to you by AT&T and Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
Under the lights at Vanderbilt Stadium, Kirkland Hall here on campus, built in 1875.
A heads-up play. Watch Carlos Davis here coming in. They're going to mark this ball because they're saying that he actually was calling for a fair catch, and he was calling it off. And the call is Peter to get away from it, alerting all of his teammates, but he tried to say that actually it was a fair catch, and it wasn't.
So they whistle a dead where he touched the ball initially. 6-yard difference between the fair catch and the return. Why did they call it Peter? Where did that come from?
Just to get away from it, just a term that special teams coaches use.
They could have gone with Paul. Could have gone with Mary.
You got to get to the coach that invented that one.
Patterson fires it on the out route to Evan Ingram. First catch for the most prolific receiving tight end in college football today. Here's all Ole Miss lines up.
Yeah, and Evan Ingram, right on cue, is the playmaker. Talk about receptions for a tight end. Going down as one of the best in school history.
Whoa, that one fit into a window. Ball came out from Attaboyjo, and they'll rule it incomplete.
Never really completed the catch, Tom. Would have been a heck of a catch with a Vanderbilt defender draped on him. Looked as though it was Trey Herndon, who leads the team with 2 interceptions. Maybe a little pass interference there, but he'd never quit on the plate. To keep his hand in there, raking the football out. It's a nice play.
Third down for Shea Patterson. To the sideline. Knocked away by Torrey McGaster. DeMaurier Stringfellow, the intended receiver.
Well, and we talked to Derek Mason. He says, you know, there are going to be times in this game where Herndon and McGaster, the 2 corners, are going to be on Revis Island, out there by themselves because of the way they want to play and try to defend Shea Patterson. Tell you what, they answered the call on that drive.
Ole Miss to punt it away. Will Gleason gets it away to Sims, who muffed the punt. Loose ball. And it looks like the Rebels have it. Good luck figuring this one out. Sims is scrapping for it, but Ole Miss comes out of there with it. Carlos Davis found the football.
Carlos Davis been excellent on special teams. You see here now he knows the ball's out, looking for it, and then goes down and is battling for the football at the bottom. Clearly has it there from that look.
Davis is a returner himself, so certainly he knows what that feels like with somebody bearing down on you.
Well, this is where you take a shot in the end zone right here.
It's only the 4th lost fumble this season for the Commodores. Patterson rolls right, puts on the brakes, cuts it back, throws on the run. He's got Judd, and Judd is into the end zone. 21-yard scramble drill.
What a play by Shea Patterson. Watch him here throw the brakes on, getting leveraged outside, able to come back in the eyes, keeping the eyes down the field to locate his running back, Akeem Judd, who has not been tackled for a loss all season long, finds his way into the end zone. What a play.
Extra point is good. Ole Miss with a new lease after the fumble punt by Sims, and then a little bit of ad-libbing from the true freshman quarterback Shea Patterson. He took a hit, but he's got the Rebels out in front 10-zip.
Tigers, Bulldogs, it's about to happen, ain't nobody backing down.
Well, freshman quarterback Shea Patterson is picked up right where he left off last week against A&M.
Yeah, started it with a run to get himself going. Nice job there, and then scrambling around, able to find an open receiver, and DeMario Stringfellow, and then this one. I mean, just an excellent play, heads up, keeping his eyes down the field, locating Akeem Judd, who finishes it off with a touchdown.
Vandy has shown no signs of being able to slow down Shea Patterson in this offense. The fumbled punt gave it right back to the Rebels, and now opportunity for C.J. Duncan on the return, and Duncan gets spun around at the 23-yard line. So
I think Shea Patterson can play in the cold weather. Hugh Freeze was concerned about it. A couple of nice drives there.
Kyle Shermer leads the offense back on the field for Vandy. Last week against Missouri, he threw for 252 yards. 2 picks, though. One on a misread by the quarterback and a bad route by his receiver. Another one that bounced off his tight end's helmet. He was also sacked a season high 6 times. But they think that Kyle Shermer is playing with a lot more confidence over the last 3 weeks, and the offense opening up here for the son of a coach.
Already saw it earlier with the tempo. Vanderbilt showing a little bit of tempo to Ole Miss.
They put a lot on the quarterback to make checks at the line, and here he is with Webb in the backfield. Ralph Webb has a hole. And one of the most durable backs in college football is able to pick up 5 before Breland Speaks brings him down.
He gave it and took it away from Ramel Banyeo, the middle linebacker coming in on run support. Gave it to him the right side, took it away, and made him miss. He is a shifty runner who just seems to get better as the game progresses.
Webb now over 3,000 yards in his career at 3,003. They'll empty the backfield. Sims goes to the left side. 4-man rush. Complete to the tight end Nathan Marcus, and they will mark him as having passed what he needed for the first down to Marcus Gates with a tackle, gain of 6.
Got off to a good start earlier in the year. Caught the game-winning touchdown against Western Kentucky. Talented player who has just been consistent all year long. He's continued to develop. A nice receiving threat for Vanderbilt.
They'll run about 5 or 6 different tight ends out there over the course of the night.
You'll see some 3 tight end formations when they want to just play some power football.
Shermer hands it off to Webb. And Webb brought down by Breland Speaks again, a gain of 3.
You see the tempo right to the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's really interesting watching Vandy speed things up offensively. Play action, Shermer looking deep. He's got Duncan open, and he's got the grab for a first down pass midfield. We were talking with Derek Mason the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Hey, you influenced it all, but what you saw Thursday night between Houston and Louisville, he said, man, that's really tempting. But as a defensive coach, he's trying to find that balance between a more up-tempo offense without your defense becoming soft, which was, let's face it, an issue for a number of spread teams. At least the reputation is there.
And keeping some West Coast principles about it. So he wants a guy that can make some plays from the pocket, but being able to speed it up. I think this is it's on display tonight.
Sims can't handle it. They'll say it is incomplete, a forward pass instead of a backwards pass.
And if you're a Vanderbilt fan, you'd want to see him get going. He's already put a punt return on the ground, led to an Ole Miss touchdown. He's so dangerous with the ball in his hands.
I'll tell you guys one defensive lineman to keep an eye on, Tom. Fadal Brown, defensive end for Ole Miss. He had a huge impact last week against A&M. He's been banged up. Saw him just run over the right tackle on that last play. Does a lot of the dirty work up front. Not afraid to mix it up and maybe tie up 2 offensive linemen to allow one of his teammates to loop around and get pressure.
2nd and 10. Maybe lined up offside. Was Victor Evans on the near side, and they get to Shermer. Fadal Brown, just as Cole said, brings him down. Brown's been their leading tackle now the last 2 games, and it's a loss of 7.
Well, you look at the defensive end on this side, right at the ball, right here. It looks as though he's lined up offsides. Was thinking the exact same thing you're thinking. Victor Evans got a nice jump because he was lined up right on the football.
Brown back after a foot injury, returned to the lineup against Georgia Southern and had 14 tackles. 3rd down and 17. Trips to Shermer's right. 4-man rush. Shermer flushed. They're going to go to Webb, and he can't quite haul it in.
Boy, if it times itself up, he had a chance. Had a couple of blockers out in front. You get the pass rush you want. If he catches it cleanly, he's got about 3 offensive linemen that would have been out in front to escort him down the field. And you see Derek Mason doing a nice job of coaching him up right there. Got to field that one cleanly because it was there.
Sam Lloyd to punt it away. Rebels have 10 within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. Davis standing at the 10. They're trying to come after it, and Lloyd gets this end over end kick away. It takes a Vandy hop. That's his specialty, and will roll to a stop inside the 5-yard line. 51-yard punt that time from Sam Lloyd. And with 3:39 to go in the first quarter, the future and present of Ole Miss football. Shea Patterson will be back at quarterback. Well, it's deja vu all over again for Shea Patterson. This was a fine play he made late in the game against Texas A&M. On the run, changing direction, finding a wide open receiver. Then, well, it happened again today.
You see him, his ability to stop, start, but keeping his eyes down the field. Tough for a young quarterback to learn, because in high school, you're the best player on the field. You're going to run around, make plays with your legs, outrun everybody. But I tell you what, this young man is off to one heck of a start for his college career.
Before the start against A&M, he FaceTimed with Chad Kelly, who told him simply, let the game come to you. He did that for sure. Here's Akeem Judd on the right side. And he was almost better as the game progressed. It was kind of slow in the early going. Then 4th quarter with the game on the line, 7 of 10, 119 yards and his 2 touchdowns.
That's understandable. You're facing Myles Garrett, Deshaun Hall, a couple of big time, Dalen Mack, that defensive line of Texas A&M.
And 103,000 Aggies.
Yes, and they're swaying back and forth. It's a tough environment.
Low snap handled by Patterson, and he flings it out to the right side to Akeem Judd. What you've been talking about a little bit this week. Why is Kyle Fields so tough for a young quarterback?
Well, it's just, you know, I've made starts there, played in Kyle Field, and it wasn't 100,000 in, but they're just so noisy. They're standing all game long. We were told, hey, don't look up, because they're swaying back and forth all day. It's almost like you get vertigo looking up in the stands.
A little bit of a different atmosphere on the West End tonight as Adebayo hauls it in, and that's a gain of 13.
I'll tell you what, he's taking care of the football. I think he's playing well beyond his years, and this is, you go back 8 weeks ago, and this kid was, as you mentioned, servicing the scout team. Unbelievable, the job that he's done, taking off the red shirt, and the way he has performed.
Here's a little toss to DeMarcus Lodge. That'll go as a pass, but they lose yardage on it as Arnold Tarpley comes in for a loss of 5.
I saw action in all 12 games last season while starting 7 on the defensive backfield for Vanderbilt, and he's been kind of spot playing with Ladarius Wiley, Ryan White, good young player.
Ole Miss has switched centers. Sean Rawlings is now in at center. He entered the game last 3 quarters to handle the snaps for Ole Miss last week, and Javon Patterson has moved from center to left guard.
He's got an injury he's playing with, Rawlings, his pain tolerance. How long can he go? It's up to him.
Patterson handles the snap, gets rid of it quickly to Evan Ingram, and Ingram forced out of bounds after a gain of 10. Oren Burks with a tackle. So there's Rawlings, a sophomore from Madison, Mississippi.
Versatile offensive lineman, Tom, that can play in the center, right tackle if needed. Banged up, didn't practice at all this week, just trying to save him to game day to see what kind of mileage they could get out of Big Sean Rawlings.
3rd and 5. Knocked incomplete. Cole, the question when it comes to centers for Ole Miss is who gives them the better chance to run tempo?
Well, that's Rawlings. And when we talked to Hugh Freeze about it, he said the thing with Patterson is he hasn't done it a ton. He's not necessarily comfortable with it, especially when you go fast. And you guys can imagine, you get up, your body's tense, you're going quick. That's where the balls become a little bit errant with Big Patterson at center. So they feel more comfortable with Rawlings there.
Yeah, and you get into it, Tom, the weather, cold ball, it affects the center as well.
C.J. Duncan asked for a fair catch. He's back there instead of Sims, who fumbled the last punt. 38-yard punt to put Vandy back on offense here. It's a 10-0 lead for Ole Miss. They need one win to make it to bowl eligibility. Rivalry game with Mississippi State waiting next week. By the way, the East has been decided. Florida with a monster win on the road in Baton Rouge today. It'll be Florida and Alabama in the Georgia Dome to decide the SEC championship. Tennessee found out that score during their game against Missouri today, and the Vols came alive late, but that game a lot closer than many expected through 3 quarters.
All the rumblings at LSU will start again about who the next head coach is going to be. With a loss to Florida, I think if had they won, Coach O, they've had a shot at that thing, but now those rumors and all the rumblings are going to start again.
Legal substitution, defense, 12-man information, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll help Vandy a little bit. Let's take a look at the SEC standings brought to you by Hardee's. By the way, how dominant has the West been this season? The East owns only 1 win versus the West. That was Kentucky's walk-off winner against Mississippi State.
You see Auburn sitting there. It's kind of a revitalized team this year. I know they dropped one last week, but playing some pretty good football.
Andre, my math's off. Of course, Florida beat LSU today, and Georgia won last week. So 3. Just don't pay attention to any of my numbers, okay? 1st and 5. Shermer sets up, wants to go deep, uncorks one. He has a man wide open. Hauled in by Trent Sherfield. Inside the 10. Sherfield spun down at the 4-yard line. 66-yard catch and run.
He's the leader of the wide receiver group as a junior. 2nd generation Commodore. His dad Robert was a 3-year letterman at cornerback from 93 to 95, and the kid just flat out has speed to get deep. I think we just saw it. It was on display right then.
This is only the 2nd play of 50 yards or more from scrimmage for Vandy this season.
Yeah, you got a bust in coverage by Derek Jones, the corner. Gave him an outside move, he bit, but to Jones's credit, got himself back into play and stopped Sherfield from getting in the end zone.
Webb in at tailback. They'll give it to him, and he dances left side, cuts back in, and he's into the end zone. Ralph Webb with his 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, there have been a lot of close calls for this Vandy football team all season long. And the difference in this year's teams and teams of the past is that they get down, it would pretty much be Katie bar the door, it's over. But Derek Mason has found a way to get this group of kids to fight, get back into games, and compete for 60 minutes.
2 plays to cover 76 yards. And the extra point is good into the stands. So 30 seconds left in this first quarter. You love to see a guy, Andre, like Ralph Webb have some success going into one of his final home games. Tom Hart alongside Andre Ware. We met with Ralph yesterday.
Yeah.
He's nearing the all-time rushing record at Vandy. We said, hey, is this a goal of yours? He said, yeah. I knew about it. I wrote it down this offseason. Coming back, he said, I wanted to get Zach Stacy's record, and Stacy wants him to get it.
I tell you what, he's a easy guy to root for because he was buried on the depth chart until Derek Mason and this staff came in. You talk about maximizing an opportunity. When he came in and the slate was clean for everybody, Ralph Webb stepped in and now well on his way to becoming the school's all-time leading rusher.
His durability is what's gotten him to this point. Nobody has carried the ball more in Vanderbilt history, and he's done it in the back half of the season with a bum ankle. So it's great to see him have a good game tonight.
It just shows you the toughness, the grit, and what Derek Mason's trying to install or interject into this football program. I think you ask coaches around the SEC, it's a different brand of Vanderbilt football than the previous 2 years with Derek Mason.
Webb, a redshirt junior out of Gainesville, Florida. He said, I take the fact that I was overlooked in recruiting with me on the field every day. Here's Carlos Davis. Davis upended at the 20. Last week against Texas A&M, Hugh Freeze used Jason Pellerin at quarterback, especially in running situations. We haven't seen Pellerin thus far tonight, especially on some 3rd and short scenarios. Would you expect to see Pellerin in Patterson's place at any point?
I think so, and it's because you don't want to get the true freshman quarterback Patterson beaten up in those situations. And Pellerman is a bigger body, 6'4", 230 pounds. When they need to show some power, that's who they're going to go to.
Eugene Brasley is in at tailback now, off of Patterson's left hip. And they're swinging out to DeMarcus Lodge, trying to set up a screen.
Oh, nice job.
Torian Ferguson.
Yeah, Torian Ferguson giving a different look, and they're going to show a lot of looks on the back end with the safeties, move the nickel defenders around as well, trying to confuse Shea Patterson.
We've got a flag down.
Personal foul, illegal low block, number 73 offense. Penalty's half the distance to the goal line. First down.
I'll tell you what that score has done for Vanderbilt. It's really tightened the game up offensively for Shea Patterson. Now you can't play quite as freely with you got a 10-point lead at quarterback. You're going to play with some freedom. Play footloose, fancy free, dance around back there, take some gambles at times. When it's 10-7, a little bit different ball game, especially now when you're backed up around your 10-yard line.
On 1st and 19, he completes it to A.J. Brown, and he gets taken down. And now that Vandy defense, which has been good all season, they're playing with a ton of confidence.
That is the end of the first quarter.
6-yard gain there, and we step away at the end of the first quarter with Ole Miss facing a 2nd and long when we return. Under the lights on Nashville's West End, we've got a fun one brewing between Ole Miss and Vandy. Well, Hugh Freeze's man crush. Shea Patterson having a pretty good night tonight. 8 for 12, 88, and a touchdown thus far.
And, backed up a little bit now. Vanderbilt, as you mentioned before we went to break, playing downhill a little bit. And you can afford to do that when you have your opponent backed up around their 10-yard line. That's how they're going to start the drive. True freshman, seeing a lot of different looks from this Vanderbilt defense.
Starting the second quarter, 2nd and 13. Pressured. And Patterson goes down. A host of doors there, led by Jay Woods. It's a loss of 9. First sack of the season for Woods.
Watch the safeties on the back end, just kind of creeping into the screen. Arnold Tarpley, as well as Ryan White, all those guys just kind of creeping up, making plays from the back end. Time that one just right. Keep an eye back here on the back end of this defense. That's where it'll be dictated in terms of what Shea Patterson will see.
Only the 11th sack of the season for Vanderbilt's defense. Now they only send 3 with a spy on Patterson. He chases away from Butler and flicks it downfield. Caught by Ingram. 18-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, long way to go from that first down marker. Certainly Hugh Freeze going to punt this away, but he took a shot. Shea Patterson took a shot right at the end of this. And they're going to touch up the freshman now. You're not going to come in and just let you run around and make some plays on us. I'll touch you up a little bit, make you feel it.
That was Jonathan Wynn put the lick on him. That was very close to being targeting. What a punt. And a fair catch taken at the 25-yard line by C.J. Duncan. Will Gleason gets off a 48-yarder on this cold night. Or pardon me, that was Wonderlic.
You just
That was
can't.
a laser.
Yeah, it really was a nice punt, but you can't give Vanderbilt's defense, you just can't give them enough credit, because he talked about, even Hugh Freeze in the opening interview with Cole, talking about how many different looks that Shea Patterson would see and how well Vanderbilt's playing defensively. Well, I tell you what, they have lived up to that billing. Gave Ole Miss a short field on a muffed punt by Darius Sims, which led to a touchdown. Otherwise, you know, it's a 7-3 ball game, or maybe 7-6.
Kari Blasingame is now in at tailback for Vanderbilt. He's got a little bit of room, and he gets spun around after a hit from DeMarcus Gates. It's a gain of 3.
Yeah, Blasingame's the thumper. You know, he's the guy that they bring in when they really want to come downhill. He's that kind of back. He's their short yardage back as well, and you'll see him come in the game when they want to run some wildcat. He's the wildcat quarterback in certain instances so that they can get him downhill.
Now Dallas Rivers is in at tailback. They give it on the end around to Darius Sims. And Sims gets wrestled down by Zedrick Woods after a pickup of 5, and that's going to leave 3rd and about 2.
And that's what they like to do with Sims. We mentioned it. He ran one end around already. When he's in the game, they're trying to get the football in his hands, whether it's a speed sweep like it was there, quick screen, or just raise up, give it to him to let him operate in space. He's got such speed. He's a dynamic playmaker when he's got the ball in his hands.
He's a senior from Memphis out of Whitehaven High School.
Right there, now in the backfield with Sherman.
Yeah, they've begun doing this over the last couple of weeks. Just putting him in as a tailback. He's so good on the jet sweep. Why not put him in the backfield? And with a burst, he's got a gain of 8 and a first down.
Yeah, you run some zone blocking up front and just allow him to find the soft spot. Watch it right here. They zone it off. Nice cutback, put the foot in the ground, get up the field. Don't mess around, go pick up the first down. It's a nice job by Darius Sims.
Talking with offensive coordinator Andy Ludwig yesterday, he said, you know, this package with Sims really started with one play, handled that one, so we just kept adding to it.
Yeah, started his career as a defensive back. And he was so dynamic in the return game, they moved him to offense.
Out of the eye now with McElwain, the fullback. Play action, and Shermer looking downfield. He's got Scott, but too high. Derek Jones with the coverage.
If you know the tendencies of Vanderbilt, if they throw on first down, which they've been doing a lot more, talking to Andy Ludwig yesterday, then they'll come back here to get back on schedule and run the football. There's the offensive coordinator in his 2nd year now at Vanderbilt. Loves those big 3 tight end sets when they want to play some power football, but if I know the tendencies of Andy Ludwig, they're going to run the football here.
Well, he's coached 13,000-yard rushers in his time. And Melvin Gordon, among others, at Wisconsin. Out to Scott, and that's too high. Shermer's been off the mark. Is there any one thing you can point to with a quarterback like Shermer, why he's missed high so much tonight?
Well, weather. That's about all I can tell you in terms of that, because you know, some guys adjust to it a little bit faster. Some will struggle, and right now, Kyle Shermer's struggling to find his footing. 4 of 10, 101 yards. That big pass to Sherfield, they got him down inside the red zone, and then they were able to capitalize with a Ralph Webb touchdown run.
66 of those 101 on that were on one play. Webb and Blasingame in the game at the same time here. Everybody moved for Ole Miss.
I'm not sure the center, Barrett Guger, didn't influence this, but they may call him for offsides. But watch, we'll go back and replay this.
False start.
Yeah, they got him.
Number 9, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Barrett Gouger, the 5th-year senior.
Yeah, about Barrett Gouger. I'm sorry. Look, you see there, that's the influence that drew the defense. Just that head bob. Sometimes you get away with it, but there it was pretty obvious.
It was his head and Caleb Scott's feet, because Scott was a good yard across the line of scrimmage with anticipation there as well. 3rd and 15.
Now you just don't want to mess it up to where it's worse than it was.
Over the middle, off the hand of C.J. Duncan, and incomplete. Was Shermer just off target? And a little bit extra pushing and shoving as Marquise Haynes got in there on Sherman.
See here working against Haynes. Big fella's not moving now. Not backing down at all. I like it.
Looked like you and Cole going head-to-head at our crew dinner last night.
Who can put down the most food? That's been about it.
Well, you guys fighting over that corn chowder bowl.
Man, that corn pudding was something else. Wow.
28-yard line. Carlos Davis up the hashes. Still on his feet. He's to midfield, and Davis flipped there. A 37-yard punt and a 22-yard return. Sims with the tackle. Ole Miss will have great field position here, just a stone's throw away from Broadway here in Music City. Let's take an inside look at Ole Miss's biggest little fan. Javante Hill is part of our AT&T Inside Access. Javante is a local Ole Miss fan whose family is homeless. His second grade teacher, Elizabeth White, is a 2013 Ole Miss graduate who talked about the value of a college education. And her encouragement turned Javante into an Ole Miss sports fan. So last night at the team hotel, they hosted Javante and Miss White. Javante was able to meet the players and Coach Freeze for an unforgettable evening.
I'll tell you what, Hugh Freeze is, he just continues to amaze me. Just an outstanding human being.
Shea Patterson hands off to Akeem Judd. Great vision by Judd, and he's got it past the 40. Down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 12, running behind Durante Bolden on the left side.
I say that about him because sometimes you have to step away from that head coaching stuff and just do the right thing sometimes. He always seems to just kind of get a pulse on life and experiences for young men.
Judd straight ahead. And let's face it, it hasn't been all rainbows and unicorns since the Cotton Bowl last year. Draft night, they had 3 first-rounders go on the same night for the first time ever, but then there was drama with that. NCAA investigation looms over this program, and just to be in a position now where they can make it to a bowl game and the promise that Shea Patterson brings to the entire fan base is, well, it must feel like a fresh breath for Hugh Freeze in the program.
A shot in the arm, and you're looking at the future of the program, and it looks pretty bright with Shea Patterson at quarterback.
On 2nd and 8, they go play action again off a high snap, and 2 strong for Ingram. Consider what most programs would be through if you lose a guy like Chad Kelly with only a handful of games left in the season.
Season's over. And you know, he talked about it. How can I look my senior class in the face when I know I've got this a guy that we can win with at quarterback, but I'm trying to redshirt. And I just took took all options off the table when I took the red shirt off of him to give ourselves a chance to win. And the senior class finishing their college experience by going to a bowl game.
Chad Kelly underwent surgery Monday. He'll be rehabbing with Dr. James Andrews down in Pensacola. 25 different school records for Chad Kelly in his brief time at Ole Miss.
Shop like a pro at Bass Pro Shops for huge Black Friday savings.
Like Redhead men's 5-pocket jeans for under $10.
And save $150 on this Masterbuilt smoker with remote.
Doors open at 5 a.m.
Well, this is a very young and talented Ole Miss team trying to get to bowl eligibility. 15 extra practices for a lot of these young guys. 2 freshmen have started every game this season, and some young guys on the field at every turn, Cole.
You look at 2 offensive tackles in Alex Givens and Greg Little on the field at the same time, both freshmen. You just don't see it very often, Tom. I think it's the most difficult position in college football to come in and play early. Ole Miss has 2 youngsters contributing on the field at the same time as we speak.
I might argue with him a little bit on that. I think it's quarterback.
I wouldn't argue.
That's one offensive lineman to a quarterback.
It's like one of the bad guys from Home Alone tonight. 3rd and 4. Great handle on the snap by Patterson. Here's Judd, and he is stopped short. And that's going to bring up 4th and 1.5. Jordan Griffin with the tackle.
I think there's no doubt Hugh Freeze goes for it here. Short yardage situation. This way it may be when you see Pellerin, I'm sorry, in this situation.
They have a package for him, but he's not coming on the field just yet.
They're going to send the big guys in, though.
Ole Miss 5 of 9 on 4th down attempts over the course of the season. This is 4th and a long one.
And remember, Judd has not been stopped or tackled for a loss all season long.
Patterson wants to throw to the slant. They go, and it's complete for a first down to Demarie Stringfellow.
You talk about having some confidence in a true freshman quarterback. 4th and about a yard. You don't run the football, fake it in there to Judd, and then find Stringfellow on a slant route. That takes a lot of confidence in that young man right there. I thought he showed it last week, letting him throw the football 42 times in his first career start at Kyle Field.
Derek Mason's out on the field. The Vanderbilt staff thinks this pass was incomplete. It would be a turnover on downs. If so,
the ruling on the field is a catch. This play is now under video review.
See if Demarie Stringfellow.
Risk versus reward.
Well, that ball was coming loose, it seems.
And I think Derek Mason has a point.
I did not see the pass, so I have nothing to offer.
We'll review it here. See here, it's coming out. The nose certainly touches. Other angle I thought was a little bit better. Shows the football coming out and touching the ground right here. Watch right here, starting to lose control. It's loose right there, and then you roll over on it. I think that's an incomplete pass.
John McDade, our white hat tonight. Gerald Hodges heading up the replay from here at Vanderbilt Stadium. Now the ball can hit the turf and still be a complete pass, but we talk about this all the time in football these days, whether it's on Saturdays or Sundays. It's simply completing the catch.
Yeah. I'm not sure he had total control of it. Even to that point, it looks like it may be it's loose. It comes out and then he regains it. It's tough.
A lot of things at play, including whether or not his hand was under the field. It was ruled complete, so indisputable video evidence would have to prove otherwise.
I'll tell you what, the guts to call it on 4th and 1. Just reminds me, I told you this story last night at dinner. John Jenkins told us when I got to Houston that we'll get so good at throwing the football, we'll throw it on 4th and an inch. And I never believed him. Man, yeah, what? That's coach speak. And then once we found myself in a game where it was 4th and a yard, and all of a sudden we're calling 60Z read, and you completed for a first down.
I've always been impressed by that story. I was even more impressed last night when you told me again with a mouthful of corn pudding.
Oh yeah, that corn. I'll tell you, go back to that corn pudding. That was on the money.
They've shown it on the video board a couple of times here tonight. The officials are trying to get Vandy's team back over to the sideline because they're all pointing up at the video board here. And Hugh Freeze might have a good idea of what could be coming. It's taken a while, and of course, replay officials not only here in Nashville, but also back in Birmingham at the video center. An extra set of eyes and try to keep these calls consistent throughout the entire season.
Oh, he is so energetic. He's contagious. Boy, did he come in dressed sharp yesterday.
He sure did. You told him he was cleaner than the Board of Health.
Cleaner than the Board of Health, baby.
Ball was loose there, and was it under control and meeting the turf as he went down. And Derek Mason saw the
After
replay.
video review, the receiver was not able to control the ball prior to the ball touching the ground. This is an incomplete pass. First down.
And Vandy's sideline just erupted like they had won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. These are two of my favorites in the SEC, or in all of college football. Derek Mason and Hugh Freeze. And both will compete to the bitter end.
So a turnover on downs after the slant on 4th and 1 is ruled incomplete. And now we'll see if Vanderbilt's offense can get anything going. Thus far tonight, Kyle Shermer is just 4 for 11 for 101 yards.
I still like the call. I really do. It just shows and it kind of instills in your quarterback that, hey, I've got trust in you. I believe in your abilities. I think if he had the same situation, may face it later on in the game, he wouldn't hesitate to call it again. You just got to finish the catch.
Ralph Webb has 5 carries for 16 yards tonight. His 6th carry of the night. He always finds a way, doesn't he? Looked like he was bottled up. and he squirts free for 7.
Hartsfield got tremendous penetration. Reestablished the line of scrimmage basically about a yard behind the line, and that's DJ Jones, I'm sorry. Ralph Webb, with that patience, able to kind of pick his way through and find a soft spot, pick up 7 yards.
So they're ahead of schedule here. 2nd down and 3. Dallas Rivers in the backfield. Rivers has the first down. It's an Ole Miss defense which turned it up late in the game against Texas A&M. May have been their best half of the year. They only allowed 6 points and 122 yards in the second half. But in the first half, 3 touchdowns and 220 yards.
Now watch Dallas Rivers. Watch the cut right here. Setting the block up right there. Just playing off the block right here. He's outside and up the field. Right here. Watch him plant that left foot in and then get up the field. What a nice job of just waiting out the block and then cutting to the open area.
Blasingame third, different running back this drive, and out of a wildcat, he hands it off. And 2 yards on the jet sweep by Donovan Tennyson, freshman from Richmond, Virginia.
Tennyson's got some speed. He's got some wheels like Sims. And he may play that role with Sims being a senior in Andy Ludwig's offense, coming in kind of carrying the football on speed sweeps, screens, just to get him in the open field.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 7 defense, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
Yeah, this is how, Tom, you get back in a football game, or Ole Miss lets you back in a football game. Jalen Julius, the corner, watch him right here mixing it up with Caleb Scott. Plays over, you get a handful of face mask. Definitely gonna throw the flag on that one.
Right in front of the official, Philip Davenport. They're already down 1 cornerback with Tony Bridges out for this game. Darius Sims now in a tailback. 4th different tailback on this drive for Vanderbilt. Sims, right side, room, another flag down as he rips off an 8-yard carry. And they send guys into the chairs over there. Hope everybody's okay.
It's going to be a hold.
Number 56 offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Chain gang is a contact position here.
Keep your head on a swivel at all times.
Gonna have to send a cut man over there.
Right there, number 56.
That's Gallagher.
Center just reaching out, and you don't have, you really unnecessary. Didn't need to do it because Sims was already out and around the corner. You don't need to block very long when you have. Just got to know as an offensive lineman who's getting the football. Well, if it's Sims, he's got to contact my man and let him go because he'll be gone.
Shermer has time over the middle. Oh, that one is caught by Sims, and he breaks free. Darius Sims all the way down to the 10-yard line. 39-yard catch and run.
What a playmaker this young man is for this offense. It's the square in, and credit Kyle Shermer for throwing a dart. Right here, nice protection, step up in the pocket. A dart to Sims, who bobbles it, but able to regather it and then turn it into a big gain.
Andre, remember when the Rams were so great with Kurt Warner?
Oh,
and
yeah.
he always threw in front of his receivers like Isaac Bruce.
Where you catch it on the run.
And the yards after catch were magnificent for that team all the way to the Super Bowl. Shermer looking in zone, good touch. And it's through the hands of Latavius Rayford.
Oh, you got to come down with that one. Right there for the senior out of Memphis, Tennessee, Central High School, corner route. You see it there, ball should be in the air already, but it's now there. You got to catch the football. Just secure the catch. Oh, you can't throw a better one, and he won't have a better one thrown to him the remainder of the year.
Only 2 catches on the season for Rayford, looking for his first touchdown. 2nd and goal now from the 10.
Sims.
And here he is, left side. Sims spins, and he takes it down to the 5. C.J. Hampton with the tackle.
I remember seeing him earlier in his career as a punt returner and just kind of asking the question, why don't they move him to offense? He's so dynamic with a football. And a couple of weeks later, he was on the offensive side of the ball.
3rd best in the country in red zone scoring.
He's one of those guys that when you time him for a 40, he's not going to slow down when you put the pads on. He's going to run just about the same time. A lot of guys that go out and run 4-4, put pads on and turn into 4-7 players. Not Darius Sims.
Movement. No flag. Shermer looking in zone. Fires. Caught! Trent Sherfield with the grab for a touchdown, but the flag down at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's going to be offsides on Ole Miss. That big unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And Jalen Julius really aided in this drive for Vanderbilt. Factor in the in route, the big play by Darius Sims led to this right here. Kyle Shermer tempted to run, but stays in the pocket. He knows he's protected, and Sherfield comes open in the back of the end zone. Vanderbilt now up 13-10 and awaiting the extra point.
It is the first lead of the night for the Commodores. Touchdown pass from Kyle Shermer to Trent Sherfield. Sherfield's had 2 big plays tonight for Vandy. And from the end zone, you see the Commodores take their first lead on the West End.
SEC Saturday Night is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
It's a look inside the Vanderbilt football locker room, and the golden anchor lit up and hanging on the wall opposite the front entrance to the locker room. 14-10, Vandy with the lead over Ole Miss. Both teams trying to make it to a bowl. Vandy could make it, by the way, with 5 wins. Academics will have a role in that. We'll walk you through that process a little bit later.
We got a ball game.
We do. Tommy Openshaw to kick it away. And Carlos Davis runs up to take it at the 6. Davis runs into his own man. So we got flagged down on the play on that return.
And they have a block in the back where you have the distance to the goal here.
Third and return. Legal block in the back. 89 return team. Depends half the distance goal line. First down.
Andre, there's a segment of the football watching population that can't get past Shea Patterson wearing number 20 as a quarterback. He wears it because his grandpa wore it when he played for the Detroit Pistons in the NBA. But listen, it's been done before. In fact, 2 Heisman winners wore a number 20 or greater, including Doug Flutie and then, of course, Bernie Kosar.
And some pretty good players on that list. The big fella to the right, Jared Lorenzen, he could throw it around.
What did he wear with the Lake Erie Lake Monsters? Do we know?
That's a good question.
So Patterson with number 20 across his chest and on his back, drops back almost into the end zone. Head on a swivel. And he will dance his way back to the line of scrimmage. A chain gang not having a good day.
I told you earlier, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got guys like big Adam Butler chasing guys around. Landon Stokes.
They've taken down 2 of the 3 guys. They got the box man that time. Every man for himself over on that sideline. 2nd and 9. Patterson flushed by Butler. Past the line of scrimmage and gets taken down by Jordan Griffin, a sophomore from Tampa, Florida.
One thing Derek Mason told us about rushing a guy like Shea Patterson, you got to stay in your rush lanes. And all of a sudden, when you're rushing up the field, he can run so well, you have to stay in bounds. I mean, stay in your rush lanes to keep him contained, almost a mush rush.
Patterson escapes the pocket, lets it go down the sideline for Ingram, and it is incomplete. Arnold Tarpley there, and we got a flag on the play.
I don't think it's on Tarpley. I think it's the corner that doesn't turn around.
Pass interference. 13 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
The other safety, Ladarius Wiley. Oh no, the ball's thrown so poorly. receiver can't get to it, and it's actually thrown more so to Tarpley. I mean, Patterson still touching him up a little bit.
And so a fresh set of downs for Ole Miss. Here's Akeem Judd, able to pick up 3. Hugh Freeze checking on his freshman quarterback.
There's Jordan Griffin.
See Freeze in the background, thumbs up. Hey, you okay, Shea? Keep going.
Yeah, he gives a thumbs up back to him. Just took a little wind out of him, but they're going to get him out of the game so easily.
Number 1, offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
But it may influence Hugh Freeze's decision on when to go to Jason Pellerin in some of those packages that they have. If Shea Patterson keeps taking hits like this, he may say, you know what, let's put Pellerin in for a play or two when the quarterback's likely to take a shot.
Yeah, no doubt. And especially, we talked about it earlier, going back to short yardage situations, he'll be the guy that comes in if they want to go with a quarterback run or even maybe a run pass option.
RPO's big part of this Ole Miss offense, especially when Chad Kelly was directing. Pump and go to the left side, nothing there. Patterson flush from the pocket straight ahead, and he slides down. Picks up 3, Cole.
Tom, I'm curious to ask Andre, because there's a little bit of a reckless style that Shea Patterson plays with. How much can you try to coach a guy up to protect himself, Andre?
Well, you really can, and you just kind of got to keep it try to get it in the back of his mind to protect yourself. Don't hold the ball so long. Get it out of there, and then, get yourself down whenever necessary. But I wouldn't take that away from him just yet or try to coach it out of him whatsoever. He's such a free spirit, going to make some plays for you. You just have to live with some of the results at the end of it.
Rebels haven't converted a 3rd down tonight. They're 0 for 5. 3-man rush with a spy. Patterson hangs a U-turn back at the 10-yard line. And he's trying to find the sideline. That's a long run for no gain. Jonathan Wynn escorts him out of bounds. They're rushing 3 at times and keeping one guy back to try and keep an eye on Patterson.
Yeah, and sometimes they're getting out of rush lanes. The play before, that was really the outcome and got him in trouble. But able to rebound because of the penalty and then force an Ole Miss punt here.
Officially a sack and a loss of 1.
You talk about overcoming some things in this game. Vandy's been able to do it. What a punt here.
Another great one. C.J. Duncan says get away. And it's kicked by Ole Miss at about the 24-yard line. 46-yard punt that time. Shea Patterson's running for his life for the Rebels. They trail by a 4. Shea Patterson running, and he's taking some licks.
Yeah, I mean, they're making sure to contact the quarterback. Just kind of let him know he's in a football game. Pocket collapsing around him right on the edge of the sideline. Jonathan Wynn touching him up, as well as Jordan Griffin. That's when Hugh Freeze asked him if he was still good to go. Be a little sore after this one's over.
Freshman trying to catch his breath over on the Ole Miss sideline.
They probably talked to him all week about how good this Vanderbilt defense is. And I think he's finding out firsthand.
Here's Ralph Webb hitting the backfield, and it'll be a loss of a couple.
Nice job by Benito Jones.
First charge time out of the half, Ole Miss.
But penetration, kind of reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Watch him. He's going to get through there. Ralph Webb, nice penetration, big arm under move, showing some power.
Haven't seen a whole lot of land sharking going on this year with the Ole Miss defense. Chris Kiffin, defensive line coach. Lost a first rounder from his defensive line last year. By the way, Lane Kiffin in Alabama pulling away from Chattanooga 24-3 in the 4th quarter. Freshman quarterback playing in that one. He's been pretty good for the Tide this year.
A couple of freshmen. Jake Bentley at South Carolina. Got his career off to a pretty good start. Red shirt, yanked late.
It's becoming a trend, isn't it?
Jalen Hurts at Alabama, and now Shea Patterson at Ole Miss.
Quickly out of the huddle. Webb straight ahead, and once again, they've got that one played to perfection. He's able to find 2. The future's bright in the Southeastern Conference when it comes to quarterbacks.
It will be a 30-second
Jalen Hurts 9-0 this season for the #1 team. Jacob Eason has Georgia Bull bound. Jake Bentley has South Carolina right there since they pulled his red shirt. He had a great start against UMass in his debut. And Shea Patterson, perhaps the toughest debut on the road at Kyle Field.
No doubt about it in my mind. Tough place to play, tough place to open your career, but he was spectacular.
Andre, you want to reassess your most difficult position to come in and play as a true freshman after seeing that graphic?
Yeah, there's a lot to learn at quarterback and a lot to process. No doubt it's still the toughest spot in my mind. Got to surround them though with some talent, and that's what you know the coaches in the SEC have done. Is a lot of good skill position players where you can just come in and manage. That's what Jalen Hurts is doing at Alabama.
No success running it on this possession for Vandy. They'll go to the air on 3rd and 10, or they'll try. And Shermer gets taken down in the backfield by DJ Jones.
Here's the big fella. But where's the same number that Jerry Ball wore at Detroit?
There will be a 30-second timeout.
Hugh Freeze wisely using his timeouts to stop the clock and get his offense back on the field. They forced the punt here, and they got plenty of time left.
And watch the big fella inside. Good inside pass rusher, fighting to get his hands off and waited for Shermer to come to him. The patience, staying in his rush lane, and once he found a chance to disengage and get to the quarterback, he was able to do it.
Sam Lloyd to kick it away to Carlos Davis. He'll look for the hop. Dari and the gang will be by at the half. Catch you up to date with the Regions Bank halftime report. Florida won the East today. Jim McElwain not shy with comments post-game to Kaylee Hartung about what that win meant for Florida after having it postponed and then moved to Baton Rouge. Alabama tested at home tonight by Chattanooga. Highlights and scores from around the SEC. And, well, there's a thriller today out west, by the way. Oregon had a walk-off win against Colorado.
Much needed walk-off win.
There's some drama. Ohio State needed some help to pull one off against Michigan State. Mark D'Antonio went for 2 and a chance to win.
Yeah.
Came up short with about 2.5 minutes to go. On first down, Ole Miss will run it with no timeouts remaining, and Akeem Judd picks up 5.
Well, they ran right at the bubble, which gives you better blocking angles against a 4-man front. There it is again.
He pulls it back, goes down the sideline, but too strong for Adebayo.
That may be one that he wishes in film study that he gave to Judd. The bubble was right there again, and by the bubble I mean the uncovered guard. Looking at Jordan Sims, number 70, the right guard. He's in there, uncovered. That's where you want to run the football. It provides better blocking angles.
On 3rd and 5, Patterson incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. By the way, I said Oregon beat Colorado. Oregon won in the last second play against Utah. Colorado knocked off Washington State by 2 touchdowns tonight. And Western Michigan still undefeated, 38-0. The win today in the snow.
Well, Vandy's done a nice job on 3rd downs to get themselves off the field. Crosser here, that's Zach Cunningham in coverage. Not only is he a tackling machine, I told you at the top, he's a sideline to sideline player.
It's the best tight end in college football, Evan Ingram. 43-yard punt. 1st and 10 from the 15 this college football season. Stream every game live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. Download the app or visit watchespn.com today. And coming up at the half from Vanderbilt Stadium, you can watch a live performance of the Spirit of Gold Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN.
I talked about the 3rd downs and Vandy getting off the field. Ole Miss 0 for 7 here in the first half on 3rd downs against this Vandy defense.
Shermer just 6 of 14. So Ole Miss used all their timeouts on defense to get their offense back out in the field. They go 3 and out. Got about 40 seconds off the clock only. Ralph Webb turns the corner out to the 21-yard line. Clock will stop after that gain of 6.
And you can see that the ankle's he's not 100%. Little hitch in his giddy up, but still able to effectively run the football. That's about the second or so 7-yard run he's ripped off. A lot of options here for Kyle Shermer. You got a little bit of breathing room here on 2nd down. You can take a shot if need be.
Webb. Well, you decide not to take a shot, and now you're left with 3rd and 2, and in danger of giving the ball back. The one positive is that Ole Miss is out of timeouts and the clock rolling. 90 seconds.
And if Ole Miss is able to hold up here, Vanderbilt 2 of 6 on 3rd downs. They're going to get some pretty good field position to go down and try to put some points on the board. So it's of the utmost importance right now for Vanderbilt to convert, and then maybe try to go down and take advantage themselves of a 1st down and some extra downs to maybe get a field goal here on this drive.
Sims trying to find the edge. He will not. He's swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage by Fadal Brown.
They just kept outside leverage. They knew when Sims comes in, they want to run him laterally. And so he's coming in to run this type of play. They're trying to zone it and get him to the outside. Nice job by Brown to keep outside leverage. Mangeo as well, the middle linebacker, helping out.
Clock rolling, under 30 seconds to go, and Vanderbilt willing to take its time. Play clock at 5. And the Doors use a timeout here to avoid the penalty.
Timeout of the
16
half.
seconds left. They'll punt it away.
It will be a 30-second timeout.
Celebrating its 12th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Vandy, 1 home game remaining. They'll get Tennessee in here next week. We'll be right back here under the lights. All of a sudden, no East to play for the Volunteers, whose offense was red hot today against Missouri, especially in the 2nd half.
Hey, what, Josh Dobbs has played some pretty good football the last couple of weeks.
Senior day for him in Neyland Stadium. Nobody back to return for Ole Miss. They've loaded up the line of scrimmage, and Vandy's going to use a timeout. One of the up men recognized it and said, hold on a second. I don't know if we have enough to protect.
Well, it's more so for the punter, Sam Lloyd, to get 1 step and get it out of there. So you want to coach up the true freshman that, hey, 1 step and get the ball out. Don't take your full complement. Just get the ball into the air.
Next Saturday, SEC Nation is live from Tuscaloosa for the Iron Bowl. Maria, Tim, Marcus, Paul, and Laura. They'll break down everything from the gridiron to the grill for a big week 13 on the college football schedule. SEC Nation presented by AT&T at 10 a.m. Eastern right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Ole Miss lines up with 11 basically on the line. Lloyd gets it away, and this is going to end up looking really good on the scorecard if it can hop 1 more.
So he's coming backwards, but they don't want to touch
let it roll.
Let the clock run out as well.
Ball comes to its rest with 4 seconds to go. 40-yard punt that time for Sam Lloyd.
Enough room to take a shot. A little Hail Mary here from Shea Patterson.
chilly night for this Ole Miss offense. First 3 drives, 101 yards and 10 points. But since then, scoreless over the last 5 drives for the Rebels. The lineup to take a shot. 4 wide receivers and Akeem Judd, the tailback. Vandy's put 3 defensive backs back on the goal line. It'll be a 3-man rush. Patterson rides out the play fake and lets it go downfield. That is incomplete, and that's how the half will come to a close. Trying to find Demarius.
That is the end of the first half.
So Ole Miss's offense slips into neutral after getting out to a nice lead. Meanwhile, the Commodores have a pair of touchdowns themselves and will head into the locker room with the halftime lead. Let's go down the field. Cole Kublik standing by with Derek Mason.
Coach Mason, a lot of success through the air in the first half. A lot through play action. Was that part of the plan coming in?
It was part of the plan. We have to run and take shots off of it. You know, they're going to try to load the box. We're going to keep trying to chuck it down the field.
Your defense has had a lot of hits on the freshman quarterback, Shea Patterson. How do you continue that in the second half?
You just got to line up and play good defense. For us, it's about getting off the field on third down.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
They've been playing good defense, and they've gotten off the field. They've held Ole Miss to 0 for 7 on third down. That's a big difference in this game. Now let's take it back to the studio. Dari and the gang, fellas. Ready to start the third quarter here at Vanderbilt Stadium, with the Commodores leading Ole Miss 14-10. Bowl eligibility hanging in the balance for both programs. Welcome back to Nashville, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Andre Ware. It's a quick start for Ole Miss's offense. They scored 10 points in the first quarter. Scoreless, though, in the second. Seems like Vandy figured something out against the young quarterback.
Yeah, they didn't quit. They didn't go into a shell. They just started to play football. And all of a sudden, defensively, started to rattle the freshman quarterback a little bit. Shots on the quarterback. Right there out of bounds. Jonathan Wynn coming up. Later on, Griffin puts some touch on Shea Patterson. The defense holding Ole Miss 0 for 7 on third downs. Then it was Ralph Webb getting himself in the end zone. He got the scoring started. Kyle Shermer to the back of the end zone, finding Trent Sherfield to go up 14-10. Vandy really turned things around late in the second quarter.
Big numbers, one that you mentioned. Vandy's getting off the field. They hold Ole Miss to 0 for 7 on third downs, and 206 total yards for this Vanderbilt offense, which seems to have found its rhythm over the last 3 weeks of this season. Let's go down the field and check in with Cole Kublik.
Tom spoke to Hugh Freeze, Ole Miss head football coach. He said, I think we need to go a little bit faster. There are some recognition issues. Said Derek Mason's doing a nice job walking the linebackers up, putting both Mike and Will linebackers on the same side of the formation. He said protection's not as big of an issue. Shea Patterson bailed out a little bit early at times, but he says he wants to ramp up the tempo here in the second half.
We'll see if they're able to do that, but when you're getting taken off the field on third down, it's really hard to go into tempo, because it simply means you're giving the ball back to Vanderbilt a lot quicker.
Yeah, if you're not executing, and you just mentioned as well the 0 for 7 on third down. So if you're not moving the chains, and you're, as you mentioned, hurrying up to give the ball back to Vanderbilt, who can milk the clock and shorten the game.
Darius Sims. No, this will be Duncan on the return. C.J. Duncan will make it to the 10, and that's about it. Well, Vanderbilt is sitting at 4 wins right now. There's a case to be made that they could head to a bowl with just 5 wins. They're a top 5 college football team when it comes to APR scores, and this is how the picks go if there aren't enough bowl-eligible 6-win teams to fill the 80 bowl slots. Teams in front of them: Duke, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Northwestern. Wisconsin and Minnesota already bowl eligible. Duke finishes at Miami. Michigan finishes a very winnable game against Illinois. Pardon me, Northwestern finishes a very winnable game against Illinois. So if you can't fill all those spots, Vandy will be in a great spot to get there with a 5th win, which could come tonight against Ole Miss, or they could still get to 6, obviously, by winning out tonight and then against Tennessee next week. Shermer lets it go, and a diving grab by Caleb Scott from Vanderbilt, first down.
Well, it could just be in the cards tonight for Vanderbilt when you start making plays like this. Nice blitz pickup in the middle by Bruno Regan against the middle linebacker Maniego, and then here finishing things off on the back end was Caleb Scott. Nice grab.
19 yards for the first down. Second catch of the night for Scott. Ralph Webb in the backfield. They're going to reverse this one and an opportunity to throw the football. But Ole Miss has it sniffed out. And the ball came loose at the very end, but they whistled him out of bounds. Donovan Tennyson had it on the reverse. And the Ole Miss bench says, wait a second, it should have been a live ball.
I heard the whistle.
It may be a moot point because there's a flag down at the 20-yard line. If that ball was inbounds, Hugh Freeze can't catch a break because that may have been a quick whistle. Loss of 4 as it stands as Freeze states his case.
I certainly heard a whistle. And then the ball comes out and is picked up by Tony Connor.
Look at block in the back. Number 58 offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
The crowd reaction you heard was from the Ole Miss fans who just saw the replay on the video board.
I think they took about 7 or 8 buses down here, so they're well represented. There's the block in the back.
That ball is loose.
Well, that was an early whistle. Ball's in the wrong hand, facing the defense.
The foot was out of bounds on the recovery there by the Ole Miss defender Tony Connor. So even though it was a clear and immediate recovery and there was a whistle,
Ole Miss is challenging the ruling on the play if the runner was down prior to the ball being loose.
Okay, so I think what we're going to see here is that the runner was not down.
This review has been initiated from the replay booth.
But if Tony Connor even has a toe across the paint when he fields this, he's out of bounds.
Right there at touching. You see it right there. It's clear.
So even though the whistle was blown, if you do have a clear and immediate recovery, they could award Ole Miss the ball with no advance. However, with that toe out of bounds, it's not going to happen.
I mean, it's clear right there.
The correction from the officiating crew, this replay initiated by the booth and not a challenge from Hugh Freeze in Ole Miss. As it stands, it would be a loss of 4. Our dear friend Gerald Hodges in the replay booth this evening.
They do a great job. They'll get this one right. It may not even take them very long.
Yeah, Tony Connor was out of bounds and ineligible to recover that fumble. We don't really need to go back and hear the whistle when the ball was the play was whistled dead because Connor was out of bounds. Just been informed by Joe Taylor, our producer, that the replay officials are not only looking at whether or not Tony Connor was in bounds when he recovered that fumble, but whether or not there was targeting on this play.
There's his foot out of bounds right there, and it's clear right on the mark.
Let's see where the targeting would have come from.
Right here. I mean, not only is he's lunging. You leave your feet and lunge and make helmet-to-helmet contact. It's DeMarcus Gates right here.
I don't know that without the pleading from the Ole Miss sideline, if they would have taken a second look at this play, they would have seen targeting. But
I agree
they
with
slow
you.
it down. Now they can go back with replay
they see
and
everything
throw the flag and eject him.
That's right. They see everything that's involved, and that's one of the new rules this season, is that the replay booth can find targeting. I think in that instance, that's exactly what's about to happen here.
By the way, DeMarcus Gates, if he is ejected for targeting, would miss the first half of the Egg Bowl next week against Mississippi State.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he is
And
had a sensational season.
After video review, the ball is loose prior to the running going down. However, number 12 of the defense is standing out of bounds when he touches the ball. There is an illegal block in the back on number 58 of the offense. However, there's also personal foul targeting number 3 of the defense. The penalty yard offset. Number 3 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
Gates with a team-high 5 tackles to this point, but he is lost for the rest of this game in the first half next week.
Well, what you missed, 76 tackles, 4 sacks, 5.5 tackles for a loss, a forced fumble, and 2 pass breakups when DeMarcus Gates misses the rest of this one and the first half of next week.
By the way, this is about the maximum you can miss for a targeting penalty. That's 59 minutes and 10 seconds of game time. DeMarcus Gates is going to have to sit out because of that play. And I know that you've been on the bandwagon
that's why I hate this. I disagree. I dislike the rule because there's really no time limit. They say a half, but if you lose a kid like DeMarcus Gates this early in the second half, it doesn't equate to when you lose him later in the game with 5 minutes left, where he's missing only the first half of next week. He's missing essentially the rest of this half and the first half of next week.
He's missing an entire game.
He's missing an entire game.
Share shy of 50 seconds.
That's where I think this needs to be reviewed by the Rules Committee in terms of putting a time stamp on how much time a kid misses, because it's total, it's targeting, but it's unfair the amount of time that he's missing.
And that time is inconsistent from foul to foul. With 10 seconds left in the half, it would be the same penalty. Nothing doing on the first down run by Darius Sims. Ole Miss crowd here trying to get fired up. And thanks to their players who are trying to implore the crowd to get behind them. Everybody on that Land Shark defense is pumped up and getting the crowd pumped up too.
And you can't get upset with the officials, the replay officials. That's their job, is to find it. And who knows if they see it, if Hugh Freeze doesn't challenge that play.
Officially, it wasn't a coach's challenge, but they implored them to take another look, and the review came from the booth. Shermer over the middle, into a tight window, and caught for a first down by Jared Pinkney. Gain of 20. Boy, everybody's into this game now here in the second half.
Yeah, he's really become a big-time receiving threat that has emerged this year.
Holding, 12, defense. Penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
Tony Connor flagged for holding.
Yeah, Jared Pinkney was forced to redshirt last year because of injuries. Successful high school career where he won 2 state titles in 2012 and 2013.
Connor was barking at the official after that flag. Here comes a corner blitz, ball on the ground, and Shermer falls on it before Connor could get there. Loss of 2. Second and 12.
See the effect that Tony Connor can have on a game. Just always around the football.
Play action. Shermer. And a leaping grab made for a first down by Jared Pinkney. Second first down of this drive.
And he came down awkwardly. Just kind of hope he's okay if you're a Vanderbilt fan. Getting up a little slow, but what a heck of a job of holding on to that ball. Got great size, Tom. 6'4", 250 pounds, soft hands. This is thrown in there nicely. He'll climb the ladder, make a nice play.
$55 yards on this drive. 37 of them belong to Jared Pinkney, the freshman from Norcross, Georgia. Helped off the field, and he implores the Vandy crowd to get into this one.
Chanting his name.
Webb following a blocker. Able to pick up 4 yards on first down. Aguayo replacing Gates at middle linebacker with a stop.
And Coach Mason told Cole at halftime this is what they wanted to do. Run the football and take shots. We've done it on this drive.
Ole Miss with new personnel on the field. Shermer deep as he gets hit, and it's caught by Duncan going out of bounds. Another first down, gain of 17.
You're starting to see the development of Kyle Shermer. You know, earlier in the season, he couldn't make that throw. And now as you just leave him in and he gets reps, game reps, he is getting better and better right before our eyes. Watch him stand right in here, stare down the barrel of the pressure to complete this pass. That's good work. And even on the previous play to Jared Pinkney, the passing play rather, he was under duress. Take a timeout here.
So they were going tempo, and then play was slow to come in. The play clock at 4. Vanderbilt uses a timeout, trying to extend its advantage here in this drive in the third quarter. 4.5 minutes into the second half, and Vandy driving. Let's take a look back at tonight's Mercedes-Benz drive summary. Andre, you always tell me a quarterback's only as good as his receiver.
Yeah, as good as the skilled players around him. Caleb Scott bailing him out. Jared Pinkney with a couple of nice grabs. That one there and for a first down. And this one actually sent him to the sideline, climbing the ladder, making a nice play for his quarterback, Kyle Shermer, who's been under duress. The guys around him bailing him out and helping him out.
Some great tight ends on this team, including Nathan Marcus, who's going to line up tight to the left side in the wing position behind Sean Dowling. 1st and 10. Their tight ends are very versatile. Blasingame in the backfield. They're going to fake the reverse. Blasingame looking for a block, and he runs right into a Rebel defender. That's Magnejo, the transfer from Oregon State. It's a gain of 3.
Well, you know it's coming at some point. You start faking it, showing it, then eventually it's going to happen. Blasingame, the big physical pounding back for Vanderbilt. They've gone right back to Ralph Webb.
9th play of the drive. Marcus leading the way for Webb. Cuts it back to the 5. He's in! Second touchdown of the night for Ralph Webb. I don't know if anybody uses their tight ends as well as Vanderbilt does.
Andy Ludwig, tight end coach and offensive coordinator. Nathan Marcus, watch number 83. Going to pull around right here, get in front, throw a nice block, and that's the block that sets Ralph Webb free for the end zone, or to the end zone.
9th rushing touchdown of the season for the redshirt junior from Gainesville, Florida. Marcus not the only tight end who helped out. Pinkney had 37 yards worth of receptions on that drive. And the point after is good. Vanderbilt has opened up an 11-point lead on Ole Miss.
It's unbelievable. The block he gets from Nathan Marcus right out in front. The patience of Ralph Webb putting Vandy up 21-10.
Vanderbilt leading Ole Miss as the Rebels look for their 6th win in bowl eligibility. Vandy's extending the lead.
Now watch the block here. Look at the tight end Nathan Marcus going to come around and kick out. Bailey McElwain, the fullback as well, throws a nice block. That frees up Ralph Webb and makes it easy work to get into the end zone. But you got to have some nice blocks. You got to sustain blocks when you're down inside the 10-yard line. Just an excellent job of execution there in the run game.
And what a job Andy Ludwig has done in the locker room over the recent history. Vandy has scored on its opening drive of the second half now 4 of its last 5 games. Carlos Davis from the goal line. He will take a knee. Not a good sign for Ole Miss, because outside of the great second half against Texas A&M, they have not been a very good second half team. First half, second half margins way out of whack when it comes to scoring and yardage, turnovers, everything. And these were primarily in SEC games where Ole Miss was right there at the break in either second half or fourth quarter. Kind of fell apart.
Yeah, but if this guy right here gets the hot hand, this offense can put them up in a hurry. And He wants to press the gas a little bit, wants to go a little bit faster. Well, if you have and taste a little bit of success, it could start rolling downhill for Ole Miss quickly.
I like the way you put that. Here on 1st and 10, Patterson looking to throw, and he'll scramble for a few. Mike Bianco's Ole Miss baseball team has a great saying right now: all gas, no brakes, as they close up their fall conditioning.
All gas, no brakes. That's about what this offense for Ole Miss is getting ready to become.
On 2nd and 8, Patterson looking for the slant. It is incomplete to Quincy Adeboyejo. It seemed like he had him, but he was forced to hold the ball for a beat.
Yeah, a lot of young quarterbacks want to show you how strong their arms are. This one didn't need to be rifled in. It just needed to be touched in front of Adeboyejo so he could catch it on the run. It's coming 100 miles an hour. Just throw him something in there that he can handle, pick up the first down, and maybe get you into a foot race.
They haven't converted a 3rd down tonight. Zach Cunningham directing traffic on the back end for Vandy. Play clock in single digits. 3 safeties deep. Patterson pressured, trying to scramble away, and he'll throw on the run. It is incomplete. Oh, they say it's a catch by Ingram. Got it right on the sideline before he was out of bounds. It's a gain of 15 and a 1st down.
Boy, you got to play the entire field against a guy like Shea Patterson. Just about out of bounds. And I tell you what a nice job by Ingram of keeping that right foot. I think it's the right foot in bounds. You see him right there. Watch the right foot, the toe. That's just right there, just barely staying in bounds to make that grab. Excellent job.
Ballerina on point there. Vandy took a timeout, their 2nd of the half. They tried to get subs into the game and new personnel, but Ole Miss ran to the ball immediately on this 1st down play.
Well, you got Trey Herndon draped all over him, and the only way to catch the football, can't wait for it to come into your chest. It's got to be caught with the hands, otherwise it's an incomplete pass. Herndon knocks it out of there. That's a good lesson for young receivers or tight ends. Learn to catch the football with your hands, because if it gets to your chest, well, it's not going to get there, because a guy like Herndon would have knocked it away.
Evan Ingram, a semifinalist for the Mackey Award, goes to the best tight end in college football. He's the old-time Ole Miss leader for receptions and yards by a tight end. Senior out of Powder Springs, Georgia. And what a great weapon for the freshman Shea Patterson to have. He's the 2nd leading receiver in the SEC as a whole, and the leading active receiver among tight ends in all of college football.
Yeah, he's going to be missed to graduation. We got a lot of players coming back for Ole Miss.
Straight ahead, Akeem Judd. Gain of 1.
He just has a sense of when time is expiring. Doesn't try to bubble back, always going forward. Has great moves to make defenders miss.
Trying to go faster, and Judd coughed it up. It's Zach Cunningham with the recovery. Cunningham brought down by Sean Rawlings, a takeaway for Vandy. And a guy who may be your SEC Defensive Player of the Year, right spot, right time.
That's his 3rd fumble recovery of the year. That's why we spotlighted him in the lineups early in the game, because he just makes plays. Had a big deflection early in the game when he was holding or covering actually Evan Ingram. Made a nice play there, but here he's kind of getting caught in the middle of, do I hand it, do I pull it? Judd puts it on the ground, and Cunningham puts Vandy in pretty good field position here.
And you got to think that mess up at the mesh point between Patterson and Judd, a byproduct of a lack of reps between the two. On 1st and 10, Ralph Webb, he's got 2 touchdowns tonight, breaks free at the 20, gets spun around at the 15. And on a 1st down run, Ralph Webb picks up 13 yards.
Yeah, nice block by Bruno Regan, pulling around out in front of Ralph Webb. Here goes the tempo.
Play action. Shermer flushed. He had Fadal Brown chasing him down.
I like this new look Vandy offense, where you have a big play. They're kind of taking a page out of Ole Miss. out of Missouri's playbook. You get a first down, get right to the line of scrimmage. You got the defense playing on its heels a little bit. Just keep them backing up.
It's funny because for a long time they were designed to be a ball control offense and great time of possession over the course of the season, just not in production. Here's Darius Sims inside the 10. And the pile will move closer to the 7-yard line. This is a Vanderbilt offense which came in 120th in the nation in scoring, fewer than 20 points a game. This is the most points they've scored in an SEC game this season.
And Darius Sims coming off the field. Looks like he's maybe favoring his left shoulder, but a nice changeup by Andy Ludwig. They've been running Darius Sims on speed sweeps. We saw the one zone blocking scheme up front where he put his foot in the ground, got up the field. But other than that, it's been pretty much lateral runs for Darius Sims. He put him in there, let him come downhill, and he had Ole Miss thinking edges. They go outside, and Sims goes right between the tackles.
2 6s are injured in this play. They check Sims' left shoulder. Meanwhile, this could be a big loss for Ole Miss. Fadal Brown is just now being helped to his feet on the field. Brown, the leading tackler each of the last 2 games, a Charleston, South Carolina native and transfer from Florida International.
Yeah, 6 tackles last week.
He missed some time with a foot injury, and he is very gingerly walking off the field, favoring that right leg.
It provides a lot of leadership, a senior along that defensive line.
Vandy's anxious to go here once again. Webb straight ahead, needed 2 for the first down, got 1. And it's going to leave 4th and 1 with a chance to open up a 14-point advantage. You assume Derek Mason's just going to bring on Tommy Openshaw.
I would definitely take the field, take the points here if you're Derek Mason. You get influenced, you got to still play some smart football.
Openshaw hasn't missed inside 40 this season. This will be a 24-yard attempt from just inside the left hash. And Vanderbilt, with 8:04 to go in the 3rd quarter, make it 8:03, has a 2-touchdown advantage on 5-win Ole Miss. An unforced error as Shea Patterson and Akeem Judd can't handle the handoff into the hands of Zach Cunningham, and Vandy makes it pay.
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then how'd I get this?
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check. Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
Okay, let's try.
Silence. It's good to be in good hands.
24-10, Vanderbilt's lead after the failed exchange led to a Vanderbilt takeaway. Shea Patterson started this game 7 of 10. It's a reversal of what he did last week in his debut against Texas A&M, where he got off to a wobbly start, put it together late. Since that 7 of 10 start, only 5 of 11 for 41 yards. The Ole Miss offense as a whole has been misfiring.
Remember that discussion we had about being a little tighter when the game was 10-7, and when you can just play freely, it was 10-0?
Well, how much of that is his personality versus play calling?
Well, I think it's just the nature of the game, so to speak. You're going to play that. You tend to play that way when you're behind, or the game's close.
Carlos Davis will have an opportunity here and can't handle it. So he'll take a knee. For an injury update, let's take you down the field in Cole Kublik.
Ole Miss defensive lineman Fadal Brown just cramping up a little bit. Trainers working on him over here on the sideline, but looks like he's going to be fine. They expect him to return.
All right, thank you, Cole. Valuable piece to Ole Miss's defensive front. Meanwhile, here's Shea Patterson. Led Calvary Baptist in Shreveport to 2 state championships after starting at Hidalgo High School in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, and then undefeated season at IMG Academy. And that was his last start prior to getting his red shirt taken off last week at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. A second half comeback to get Ole Miss to its 5th win. Vandy shows blitz. They back off that out to Adebayo. Makes a first man miss. And Quincy Adebayo has a gain of 7 on first down.
That's how Vandy started the game, and it's not attractive to head coach Derek Mason, where you have an opportunity to get receivers or ball carriers on the ground, and yet you're missing tackles.
They show corner blitz from Ferguson. Got there late, and the ball is incomplete off the hands of DeMaurier Stringfellow as McGaster had him reined in.
And once again, Ole Miss finding itself in 3rd down and 3, or a 3rd down situation, and they're 1 for 8 on 3rd downs, with that first 3rd down conversion coming here in the 3rd quarter.
On 3rd and 3, looking to the flat through the hands of Adebayo. And Ole Miss now 1 of 9 on 3rd down attempts. They caught what Vandy had last week when the Commodores against Missouri went only 3 for 14 on 3rd down, and you just can't win doing that.
Yeah, he looks a little stoved up. I mean, you know, not loose as he was, and he's taken some shots in this game where, you know, he may not be anywhere near 100%.
The only other option at quarterback is Jason Pellerin. When Chad Kelly initially tore his ACL, Hugh Freeze half jokingly in the postgame press conference said he was considering asking Ryan Buchanan to rejoin the team. Duncan surges forward to handle that one, a 40-yard punt and a fair catch. So 3rd down struggles for Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare. As we mentioned, 0 for 7 in the first half. The first 3rd down conversion coming here in the 3rd quarter. It's been a while. Overthrows, you know, there, the last one out in front or behind Adebayo.
So on the phone with the booth upstairs and his offensive coordinator, Dan Werner. Ole Miss averages 25 first downs a game. Way off the pace here tonight. Only 10 thus far. Back to Shermer and Vandy. And Blasingame. Through the tackle of Brown and finally brought down by Deontay Anderson, 11 yards on first down.
This Vanderbilt offensive line starting to go to work on the front of Ole Miss. Getting some push, reestablishing the line of scrimmage. You see it there, nice job with the zone blocking, and then Blasingame puts that left foot in the ground, gets vertical in a hurry, and had some room when he decided to do so.
Shermer swings it to the outside. C.J. Duncan got through the first tackler. Gain of 5. It's his 2nd consecutive play where Vandy has picked up a ton of yardage after initial contact.
That tackling monster starting to work its way to the sideline of Ole Miss, where you're in the open field and you just can't bring ball carriers down.
Ole Miss has dropped off a cliff offensively after that opening frame.
In the first quarter. Then you look at the 2nd quarter on, it's been Vanderbilt, all Vanderbilt.
Blasingame. Gain of 4. Detrick being Dukes with the tackle for Ole Miss. Remember, DeMarcus Gates lost 50 seconds into this 2nd half due to a targeting penalty. So they're missing their middle linebacker.
That's where Vanderbilt's going to work, right between the tackles. Mentioned it earlier, 76 tackles left the game with DeMarcus Gates.
3rd down 1. Sims has the first down. Plenty more. Forced out of bounds at the 37-yard line. A 15-yard run on 3rd and short. Vandy playing with a ton of swagger now.
And Nathan Marcus again. He threw a nice block for Ralph Webb to get into the end zone. Watch him work here. Number 83 out in space. You see him right there on the edge, just kind of in front of his man. Doesn't have to be a knockout block. You just need to eat some space and not allow him to get to Darius Sims. That helped him pick up the first down. Nice job tonight by Nathan Marcus.
They fake the handoff to Duncan. Off play action. Shermer's got a man in the out route, and it's incomplete. Coverage downfield by Derek Jones on Trent Sherfield.
And Caleb Scott wanted the football. As soon as he comes off the play fake, if he goes to Scott, he's got a touchdown. But once he waited so long to survey things, watch Scott come wide open. Right now is when you want to give him the ball. Then it's a foot race with the safety trying to come over the top, Zedrick Woods, to help out.
2nd down 10. Webb. Ralph Webb inside the 20. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He said, I was overlooked throughout the recruiting process. Hometown Florida didn't want him. And he's got a 21-yard gain here in back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Zach Stacy, the only other Commodore to do that.
Watch again the dominance up front, zone scheme. And he just has the patience to let it develop and then explode once he commits to just a crack of daylight.
He's 70 yards away from the school record for rushing yards. Looking for Marcus in the flat. He's there, and Nathan Marcus.
Got to reward him, don't you?
Yeah, indeed. Takes it to the 5 for a first down, a gain of 11.
Tom, I'd love to have a chart of this football game, passes thrown, of how many have been play action and how many have been straight drop back. I'm not sure I've seen a straight drop back pass by Vanderbilt completed tonight. Andy Ludwig is working the play action.
Yeah, and it's because, Cole, they're running the football so effectively with Webb and Blassingame and Dallas Rivers when he comes in the game that all of a sudden you gotta respect it.
Here's Webb, and he gets lit up by Magnejo. Gain of 2.
Because you can't run play action. That's Gary Kubiak with the Denver Broncos. If play action works, you get a running game going, you can work play action from it, and it's really no need to drop back and throw it because you want to give the appearance. Boy, that's a nice lick by Magnejo in the middle, but that's what you want. You want to appear to be running the football so you freeze the linebackers and routes develop behind them.
On 2nd and goal, Blassingame. Churning, pushing, surging just inside the 1. And that will set up 3rd and goal.
Bruno Regan pulling out in front of Blassingame, trying to give him a nice block and get him going. Just the offensive line, they've done a nice job of going zone blocking up front, and then they'll run some gap and pull some guys out in front. And Cole's a big fan of the gap scheme.
Here's a 10th play of the drive. They give it to the fullback, and McElwain is stopped. Bailey McElwain with his first carry of the season, and he stopped short.
This is where Derek Mason, in my opinion, kind of listens and gets the pulse of his football team. Took the points before to go up 24-10. But then you have Kyle Shermer wanting to go for it. You got the offensive line turning to the sideline. Put it on us.
They're loading up with tight ends again. They had an extra tackle on the field the last play. Marcus lined up on the left side. Webb following his blockers. Regan, and he's in for another touchdown, his 3rd of the night. Number 61 is a road grader.
Boy, I tell you what, you got to give a game ball to 61 and 83 Bruno Regan, as well as Nathan Marcus. Just a clinic in how to block. Watch 61 back out, and then he pulls right around and get right behind the big fella. Helping out. It's a nice job. Patient run again by Ralph Webb to allow Regan to get out in front and then knowing exactly when to cut off of his block.
5:26 off the clock on that 11-play drive, and the point after is good. 31 unanswered points for Vanderbilt. Ralph Webb, 3 touchdowns. He had his game face on early this week.
He did. On Friday, we got a chance to meet with him. He came in. He was serious. He's trying to get himself to a bowl game. Down here where it gets the nitty and gritty, grinding out a touchdown run. Another one for Ralph Webb.
Vanderbilt is knocking on postseason's door with a 31-10 lead here. They could get into a bowl with their 5th win, and it looks like they're on their way to that tonight, thanks to the play of Ralph Webb, who's never played in a bowl game in his Vanderbilt career.
He said he went to one, like the BBVA Compass, against the University of Houston. I actually happened to be doing that game, and Vandy put it on the University of Houston pretty good that day. But he didn't play. He went, but did not play, and is trying to help this senior class get there.
Vanderbilt with an offensive outburst tonight. And a returnable kick for Carlos Davis. Davis breaks free at the 30, and he's after the 35. Adam Butler's played in a bowl. In fact, the rib eating contest before a bowl game is a big reason he's on defense now.
There was a rib eating contest, and Coach Shue was watching. They had ribs on their plate that didn't have a bone in it, which means that they just took the bone out of the rib and just threw it in the tub. And I said, no, you're not about to count those ribs, and I fought against it. Coach Shue loved that, and he wanted to add that kind of attitude to his defense, or at least that's what he told me.
That's former defensive coordinator Bob Troop, who's now at Tennessee. Vols will be here next week. That was before the bowl game against NC State. Adam Butler's like, hey, Wolfpack, you're cheating here. I'm not going to stand for it. Patterson scrambles, and a gain of 7 on first down.
Yeah, one of my favorite players in all of the SEC, because he plays with a motor, he plays with an attitude. It means something to him. And then just visiting with him yesterday, you could just feel the passion in his voice for Vanderbilt football.
Eugene Brasley, a junior from New Orleans, taken down by Jordan Griffin.
Yeah, the fumble by Judd has led to Brasley getting some carries. First one of the night. Another big 3rd down here.
Corner blitz coming. Brasley in the backfield, taken down. Charles Wright, first man there.
Well, they have been simply magnificent on 3rd downs, to the point where Hugh Freeze gonna roll the dice here. Maybe try to draw Vanderbilt offsides.
Well, they went from 3rd and 1 to 4th and 3 now.
Getting some pressure from here.
Vandy mistaken, had their punt return team on, at least part of it. They had 12 men on the field, and they get flagged.
It's going to give Ole Miss a first down.
Wow. Defensive
substitution. 12 in formation on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Defensive communication
first down.
Was an issue for Vanderbilt throughout the game at Missouri last week, and this is a big miscue. It just hands Ole Miss a first down. Patterson pulls it back, takes it up the left side, and the freshman gets clocked as he is just shy of the first down. Count him up. Got one running off.
Yeah, one running off right here. And then down here, punt returner.
That's C.J. Duncan. If Duncan wouldn't have been on the field, they would have been fine with 11. Looked like he was the only one that didn't get the memo. On 2nd and 1, Patterson pumps and goes incomplete. Trying to find A.J. Brown, the freshman from Starkville.
Well, he is another good-looking true freshman. I'll tell you, they are loaded. They have another one as well, D.K. Metcalf, who was out with an injury. He went out the first or second game of the season.
Ole Miss will line up to go for it on 3rd and 1 here. Just 1 of 10 on 3rd downs tonight. Oh, they had it, but we got a flag and whistles before they got it off.
What a false start.
Oh, goodness.
False start. Number 43 offense was never set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So 3rd and 6.
Yeah, right here.
I don't know about that one. I mean,
I don't know either.
Like he didn't even move his feet. Ingram in the slot. Judd returns to the backfield.
Somebody needs to come up on Ingram.
Patterson to the left side. At a Boiseau. Did he get his feet down? They say no. Oh boy, that toe is in bounds. He completed the catch, and the folks upstairs are going to take a look at it.
Early in the field in the previous down, it is an incomplete pass. This play is now under video review.
I got it as a catch.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. You see it here, and it's the left foot, the toe that's down in bounds right there. That's a heck of a job of concentrating through the catch and knowing exactly where you are on the field. Get close, let it drag, make sure you secure the catch. I don't think there's any doubt about that. That's just pretty work right there.
After video review, the receiver is able to control the ball and get a foot down in bounds. This is a catch. 1st down.
That's what it's for, Tom.
Yep.
To get it right.
So it's a gain of 11 on the completion to Adebayo.
Let's go. Oh, you're just so tempted when you leave this much room for Ingram.
Nobody's over him.
Finally, you have a defender creeping in.
Judd taken down by Zach Cunningham. That'll bring it into the 3rd quarter. The quarter, which featured a fumble recovery and return by Cunningham that set up another Vanderbilt touchdown. And we head to the 4th, and Vanderbilt is 15 minutes of game action away from, with a positive APR, being bowl eligible with win number 5 on a frustrating night for the Rebels. Let's take a look at our 15 minutes or less, brought to you by Geico.
Ralph Webb just finding his way into the end zone. Right here, Trent Sherfield. Nice job working the back of the end zone. Zach again finding his way in. I'll tell you what, give a game ball to big Bruno Regan and the job he's done, along with Nathan Marcus, the tight end.
2nd down 10 for Shea Patterson. Vandy shows blitz from the edge. Bring extra men. They're going to get to Patterson, and he stays up. Now he shovels it incomplete. Jordan Griffin able to get to him. It almost looked like Patterson put the ball on the turf as he was trying to get out of there.
Yeah,
That's what Derek Mason's saying.
He wants a grounding penalty. And I'm not, I agree with you. It looked as though when the first defender arrived,
the passer was able to get outside the tackle box and get the forward pass to the line of scrimmage.
He used the football touch the turf. That's what needs to be looked at. And they're trying to hurry and get this play call.
3rd and 10. No stoppage, blitzing again. Patterson gets out of the pocket, steps up, heaves one deep. Got a man there. Ingram. Got it! Touchdown, Rebels! 38 yards. Off the hands of Arnold Tarpley, and Evan Ingram stuck with it.
Just like that. Can't relax on an offense like Ole Miss because they can strike so fast. We've been talking about how Ingram's lined up without anybody over him just about the entire game, and you have to account for where he is. Nice job of just putting it up, letting him go get it.
What a grab.
Yeah, that's just good football.
Caps a 9-play, 65-yard drive. And how about the ability of Shea Patterson on a play that maybe was going to get looked at by the replay booth, and now pushing and shoving after the point after, to get his team on the line immediately before this. But this was the play where he got flushed from the pocket. Did he put the ball on the turf, and should he have been down right there?
Jordan
Looks
Griffin.
like it to me. And
Then
his
the
knee's down.
Then the knee goes down. I mean, then the knee goes down as well. So, I mean, I thought the replay officials would take a look at it because the ball goes down after Jordan Griffin makes contact. And then again, the knee, a second situation where you would have ruled it down. That's why Ole Miss hurried to the football and snapped it.
They said it was an intentional grounding, but the ball never reached the line of scrimmage. It's a yard short. Regardless, Shea Patterson and Evan Ingram catch a break, and they make it pay off. They cash in. Second touchdown pass of the game for Shea Patterson. No return for Darius Sims. So that was what happened on the previous play. Here's a touchdown pass from Shea Patterson to Evan Ingram.
Well, this is just good football here. Concentrating. You got a defender draped all over you. Gets a hand on the football, but look at the eyes. You can see his helmet just trap the football. Watch his helmet. You see him here looking it in and then just completing the catch.
And the reaction from the freshman.
There's some things you just can't teach. You gotta let them go out and play. It's like Evan Ingram's in a little bit of pain.
Blasingame in the Wildcat for Vanderbilt. They fake the jet sweep and is able to pick up 3. Vandy was pulling away before that pass to Ingram, thanks to a very efficient offense. They'd scored on 3 consecutive drives. 2 touchdowns bookend that field goal.
This is just 9-play, 90-yard drive. Had the turnover with a field goal, and then they went on an 11-play, 72-yard drive. You talk about just a change in the offense.
The Vandy team that had scored 31 unanswered points before that pass from Patterson. Blasingame is able to turn the corner.
Boy, is he tough to bring down. And for Vandy, this is the most points in SEC play this year. 31 put up against Ole Miss. Ralph Webb needing just 64 yards to become the school's all-time leading rusher. 2 milestones. A couple achieved, one achieved already, and another one yet to happen.
Deep ball, too much. 3rd and 4. And 2 guys going deep. Why that route?
It's tough. I mean, I don't understand why you're going there when all you need is 4 yards to pick up the first down. Give me something underneath. Short route that can run for a first down. Pick route where you pick someone clean and they come open and can get you the first down. Anything but just trying to throw the fade down the sideline. Not a high percentage throw.
Ole Miss almost got to it. 31-17 our score, a 29-yard punt. Shea Patterson and the Rebels looking for another second half comeback. Looking to write his legacy early. Well, Well, the only bigger news in David Price's $2.5 million he gave to the baseball program yesterday would be a Vandy win here tonight. It's a 31-17 lead for the Commodores. By the way, 60% of Tim Corbin's former players contributed to that fundraising campaign as they redo the baseball facilities adjacent to Vanderbilt Stadium here.
This is where the defense is to give Vanderbilt a little bit.
Patterson with a shoulder fake, buys some time. Head up as he runs, and he fires to Judd through his hands, incomplete.
Boy, he could just buy time. I mean, and you have to defend all 53 1/3 yards of the field, because he'll run around from sideline to sideline and just make you chase. And as soon as you get out of your lanes or you break coverage, he'll find a receiver.
Ingram on a double move over the middle, incomplete. Let's take you back to last Saturday. 21-6 going into the fourth quarter, Kyle Field, and Shea Patterson engineers a comeback on the road. 31-17 here in the fourth quarter. Can Patterson find that magic? And you look at the way he plays, Andre, playing loose. You're talking about playing from behind, how it's tough. Nothing to lose here. You're playing with house money. Just chuck it a couple times, make some plays, ad-lib. It's almost like you're expected to lose when you're down 2 scores in the fourth.
That's what he did to find Evan Ingram to get it to 2 scores. That's why, you know, you got to lean on the defense that got you here if you're Vanderbilt to find a way to get off the field right now.
Oren Burks coming up, and he makes the play. Adam Butler, first man there. He gets a sack, and Burks cleans it up behind him on a delayed blitz. 3rd sack of the night for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's why I like the big fella Adam Butler so much. He's an explosive player who just flashes all the time. You'll see him right there just continuing to drive Greg Little back to the quarterback, disengages, and then finishes. Stayed in his rush lane.
Butler had 2 sacks earlier this season against Florida. That's his 3rd of the season. And the punt will trickle out of bounds after a 39-yard kick out at the 28-yard line. Adam Butler's a big guy, big energy, big personality.
Love the big guy going to work, finding a way to get to Patterson to get Vanderbilt off the field.
SEC Saturday Night is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. And Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
It's a Ralph Webb show tonight. 3 touchdowns. Vanderbilt leads Ole Miss 31-17. And now the Commodores offense, under the direction of Andy Ludwig, is in a situation where they can try to run some clock here. 12 minutes to go. 83 yards and 3 scores tonight for Webb. Doesn't get the school record tonight for rushing yards. He'll have an opportunity next week against Tennessee's porous defense. They've been decimated by the run the last 2 weeks. Here's Webb. Ralph Webb is free, and he's past midfield. 32-yard run before Deontay Anderson brings him down.
Needed 64 for the school record, just chopped it in half with that 32-yard scamper. But once again, looking to the offensive line. Nice job by Ian Pfeiffer, the left guard, pulling around, mixing zone up front with gap and pulling guards. It's been a nice job up front by the offensive line.
This Ole Miss defense is drained. Here's Sims. Picks up 1 yard on the right side. Taylor Polk, junior from McGee, Mississippi, there to bring him down.
See there,
trickling towards that record.
Yeah, ever so close.
I need that jersey sewn up. He's got one of those old Earl Campbell tearaways on. Sims in the backfield now next to Shermer. On the curl, it is complete to C.J. Duncan.
Boy, he's just so good at that. You turn the video on to watch games of Vanderbilt. You see number 19. He just kind of flashes, really flashes when you're watching him on video. I think he needs the ball more. He's their leading receiver. Got to find a way to get the ball in a playmaker's hands like C.J. Duncan. He just seems to make plays each and every week for this Vanderbilt offense.
4 catches on 5 targets tonight for 40 yards. Leading receiver base based on the number of targets from Kyle Shermer. On 3rd and 6. Out of the backfield, Sims. Great hands. The first down for Vanderbilt.
A nice read by Kyle Shermer. Get the ball out quickly, and the positioning of the throw allows Sims to catch it on the move, working up the field. Watch this throw. We get some quick heat. Goes right where the defender's coming from. I think it's Victor Evans that gets free. You read the hot. He did a nice job of just getting it to where he can pick up the first down.
Play action. Shermer. Great leaping grab by Caleb Scott for a Vanderbilt first down over Jalen Jones.
Usually the 3rd down specialist, Caleb Scott, but tell you what, he climbed the ladder to make this catch. Shermer's been a little high with the football, and Jared Pinkney has bailed him out. Now Caleb Scott climbing the ladder to bail him out. Boy, this is a nice drive in response to Ole Miss rewarding the defense for getting off the field on 3rd down.
The Ole Miss had scored on their previous drive. Shermer looking for Blasingame, and he'll send that one over the wall.
Yeah, just got to throw it away. Don't try to force anything in there. Live to fight another day and come back on 2nd downs. Nice smart play of the sophomore Kyle Shermer.
Vanderbilt has scored 4 touchdowns on 5 red zone trips. Webb has never scored 4 touchdowns in a single game. Thought maybe we'd have it there.
He's got close. Got so close. You see the patience again. Just kind of letting everything set up in front of him. Nice job by McElwain. You're pulling Regan around. Nice kick out block. I'll tell you what, this offensive line for Vanderbilt, Nathan Marcus again out in front throwing a block. That's who's doing the job offensively. Ralph Webb's going to get a lot of credit, but he should give it right back to the big grunts up front.
He's 30 yards away from the school record, 19 carries, 120 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Play action to him. They fake the pitch. Shermer trying to buy some time. And it is caught. No, incomplete. Bailey McElwain, the fullback, nearly had it.
McElwain's trying to convince. He caught it. He's saying he caught it. It'll be reviewed anyway. Let's take a look here and see if he indeed caught the football.
Oh boy.
Don't know if it's enough to overturn from that look. Still not enough.
Ball ended up in his left hand. Hands underneath the ball.
Hands
there.
underneath it. I think it looks like a catch.
But here's the problem. From those angles that we saw,
it's
we
not
are
enough
making an assumption based on where his hand is when he goes down, but we can't see it.
On the field in the previous play is an incomplete pass. This play is now under video review.
You still can't just clearly see it. And it's because the defender flashes in front of him with that first look that you really can't tell. You can't see the football there. It's hard to tell. I can't make. It looks as though it would have been a catch, but the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Hands are under it. That's about the best look and yet you still can't really tell.
You know, I don't know. I think that last end zone shot was a pretty good one. So you look for the ball. That one, it's certainly blocked by Jones. I think that previous high end zone was a pretty good look.
Yeah, Jalen Jones kind of flashes right in front of you, makes it tough to see it. He is convinced right now that it's a touchdown.
It would be his first touchdown of his career, the freshman from Trussville, Alabama. He was the last recruit to join this freshman class, signed in the summer, didn't arrive until August 2nd. Remember, Bailey McElwain was committed to Stanford. Announced his plans to delay enrollment until the fall of 17 and go to prep school, never signed his letter of intent. And all of a sudden he said, wait a second, Vanderbilt's an option? Why not? And he has been a fantastic player for Derek Mason and for Andy Ludwig's offense.
That's about the best look. Jones flashes. It's tough.
I think he made the catch, but what I think doesn't matter. It's what they can prove with video evidence.
It's indisputable
I think
video
this
evidence.
is the best look here.
That's the best
After video
look.
review, the receiver is able to make the catch. Touchdown.
What a drive for Vanderbilt. What a drive put together by Kyle Shermer, Ralph Webb, Bruno Regan, Nathan Marcus, Ian Pfeiffer. I credit the big guys up front because they all contributed.
To make it a 3-touchdown lead. An 8-play, 72-yard drive. And Bailey McElwain, who has only 4 catches on the season coming into this play, is able to sell it to the officials. Video confirms it. A touchdown reception, and Derek Mason, yeah, that much closer to bowl. Which team's playing loose?
And which team's having some fun?
38 points tonight, and most in an SEC game under Mason. They haven't scored this many in a game since they put 41 on the board against Tennessee in 2012. The way the Volunteers come in here kind of limping next week in primetime game. We'll be here for that one to close out the SEC regular season. Tennessee put a ton of points on the board today against Missouri, but couldn't stop Missouri's running game. That's what Vandy does pretty well. So that'll be an interesting one next week. Tommy Openshaw kicks it away. Carlos Davis from the 8. Davis has room, and now he's got the sideline. Sims can't get a handle on him, and Davis is past midfield. He is still in bounds, and he is all the way down to the 30-yard line. What a return as Ole Miss looks for a spark. Carlos Davis gives him 62 yards.
And he caught it on the run. No flags, which is the first thing you look for on any return, whether it's a kick return or a punt return, but he is their fastest player at 4.40 speed.
Let's go down quickly and check in with Cole.
Tom, walk past that Vanderbilt defense on the way out to the field. The group said, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. He's terrified. He's terrified. Speaking of Ole Miss quarterback Shea Patterson.
They think they're in the freshman's head. Well, as Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan till they get hit in the mouth, and Shea Patterson has been hit time and time again tonight. They bring an extra man. Ole Miss answers with a screen to Ingram. Evan Ingram's got a first down and tiptoes his way to a gain of 20.
Oh, they score quickly. It's game on. Still a lot of time. They've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
Couple of big plays. The kick return and then the completion to Ingram. Eugene Bradley in the backfield. Patterson looks right, fires in zone. Too strong for Ingram. And Evan Ingram grabbing his hamstring.
On a night like this, where you're cold, you got to stay loose. You sit for a while, and remember, Vanderbilt went on that long drive. It kept the offense of Ole Miss on the sideline. That is the tough ones when it's low like that, to heal it up.
Man, you hate that. Blitz coming from Vandy. Patterson gets past the first guy, dumps it off over the middle, and it'll be a loss of 1 on the completion of Van Jefferson.
Well, you talk about a weapon. If Evan Ingram's not able to get back in this ball game.
And an injury that could very well linger towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
If they don't win tonight, they got to win at home against Mississippi State to make it to a bowl. Patterson fires, and it is incomplete.
Well, I think the ball got on Trey Herndon so fast he wasn't expecting it. That was gift wrapped. Early Christmas present, and it's not even December yet. Watch this one. I think the play fake, he lost the ball in the ball handling, and it sailed to Brasley. The play fake to Brasley kind of rattled the ball loose. And Patterson wasn't able to really get a grip on it, and it sailed on him.
4th and 11. No Ingram. Patterson pumps right, looks left. He's going to try to scramble and find some time. He'll turn around again. And he sneaks through 2 defenders. He's got all day if he wants it. Nobody's open, though. Patterson ad-libbing and on the run. He fires incomplete. Zettergren was there, but out of bounds. Ole Miss will turn it over on downs with 7:10 to go.
Well, what a nice job on the back end by Vanderbilt. All this scrambling going on around. Knees out of bounds, bodies out. I don't think that one's going to be overturned. But look at the back end of this. And watch how Vanderbilt stays in coverage as he's scrambling around. Look at the guys on the back end, back here. All in this area, everybody just kind of channeling here. Nobody open for Shea Patterson to throw the football to. That's just outstanding. That's coaching right there. Stay with the guy. This is the game plan. He's going to break containment, but stay with your man.
Here's Blasingame. Andre, this is an Ole Miss team and a decision made by Hugh Freeze thinking about his seniors and the opportunity to get to a bowl game. It's a program that took the red shirt off the most promising player in their program with just a handful of games remaining in the season.
Yeah.
Now, they are likely going to lose here tonight, and they'll go into a rivalry game needing a win to get to a bowl game, to get those 15 extra practices. If they don't get it, if they don't get to 6 wins, was it worth it to take the red shirt off of Shea Patterson?
No. No, but I also see the side of Hugh Freeze that wanted to give his football team a chance to get to a bowl game.
Here's Webb.
But it's one of those after the decision kind of results.
So you go into a rivalry game, the 113th meeting with Mississippi
without
State.
your best pass catcher, first and foremost. If Evan Ingram is indeed unable to go with that hamstring injury.
And without DeMarcus Gates for the first half, because he was ejected for targeting to begin this half.
Well, that rule's got to be looked at in terms of time spent away from the field for targeting.
3rd and 3 here for Vanderbilt. It would take some sort of miraculous comeback at this point for Ole Miss, but first they need to stop Vandy. Shermer looking for the screen, nothing there. Isaac Gross had the receiver in a bear hug.
They were trying to, I think it was Blasingame they were trying to set the screen to, and Gross just had him bear hug.
Meanwhile, Will Muschamp made a similar decision about a month ago by taking a red shirt off of his freshmen.
Right.
They are bowl eligible now. Sherfield late on the field as Vanderbilt will line up to punt it away.
False start. 20. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Owen Burks with a little movement. But no, it wasn't worth it because it didn't work out.
Calculated gamble.
Very much so.
Yard punt. Shea Patterson and Ole Miss with only 5:25 remaining to try to make up a 3-touchdown deficit. Around the league today, Florida with a goal line stand to hold off LSU. They're headed to Atlanta to take on Alabama. Jake Bentley and South Carolina bowl eligible after knocking off the Catamounts today. They've got Clemson remaining, and Kentucky had to come from behind and knock off winless Austin Peay. So Will Muschamp, as we were discussing, Andre, takes the red shirt off Jake Bentley, not because of quarterback injury, but because of ineffective play from his other two, and it pays off, and they'll be headed to the postseason.
I got to believe that, you know, Shea Patterson and his family, they're thinking of an NFL future. And so that's why the move to IMG and the specialized training and all that goes on there. We'll get back into that after this play.
Complete the slant to Jefferson.
So if you're Hugh Freeze, you're thinking, okay, he's going to the NFL. I might have him 2 years if I redshirt. So he's there for 2 years. A redshirt, plays his redshirt freshman year, sophomore year, and he's gone. At least if I take the redshirt off of him, I got a chance to maybe get my team to a bowl game, and I get him for 2 years and a third and a couple of ball games.
Off the hands of Jefferson. Missed opportunity. Remember, A&M going into that game had lost its starting quarterback, Trevor Knight. Right. And so all of a sudden that became a more winnable game for Ole Miss on the road. Granted, it took a monster's fourth quarter comeback to accomplish.
And he was walking into this stadium tonight, going to see a defense with a lot of different looks. You see the movement up front. Every snap, it's been a different front. It's been a different look in the secondary, blitzing.
On 3rd down, this is Jefferson. Patterson has gone to him on 3 consecutive plays. First down.
Vanderbilt's okay with this. They'll give up the underneath stuff. Just don't want to give up anything over the top where it's a quick score for Ole Miss.
There comes pressure. Patterson gets hit, taken down, and it is incomplete.
Oh, that should have been 6 points.
Octavius Cooley, the freshman tight end. Limited time for him on the field, but with Ingram out, Cooley with an opportunity.
Oh, what a throw this is, right over the top where the defender can't get there, and that should have been caught and into the end zone.
Derek Mason told us something interesting yesterday, I thought. He said, we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to have 4 play calls defensively, and we're going to Rolodex them. We're going to mix them up a little bit. That one was incomplete, trying to find the other tight end, Zettergren, so you can see how much Ole Miss misses Evan Ingram. But with this, to simplify what they do defensively, which is very similar to what he did 2 years ago going into the tail end of the season when he took over play calling duties. Ingram with a hamstring injury won't return. And just let my guys play.
Yeah. Yep. And he's put together a magnificent, you see how deep the safeties are for Vanderbilt. They're not going to give up anything over the top. You're going to earn it underneath.
Patterson buys time, able to find Adeboyejo. Torian Ferguson forces him out after a gain of 7, so 4th down here with 4:29 to go.
Faced this before. I think he missed Zettergren on the sideline close to the end zone. The previous drive.
Three-man rush and a spy. Patterson has it batted away at the line of scrimmage. Nehemiah Mitchell able to knock it down, and a turnover on downs, and Vandy 4 minutes and 11 seconds away from a win here tonight.
That's watch. They're pushing the pocket, not really trying to get up the field. They know he wants to come quick with it. And they just kind of mush rush, waiting for the football. If you can't get there, throw those hands up, and they're able to find the football.
This is a Vanderbilt team, which is one of the top 5 teams in the country in academic progress rate, which means that there aren't enough teams to fulfill 80 bowl slots, just as there weren't last year. A 5-win team could make it into a bowl. Last year, 3 teams did. By the way, they all won their bowl game. Blitz up the A-gap. Darius Sims stretches it to the outside before he gets hog-tied. No gain. And 2 of the teams in front of them in the APR already bowl eligible. Wisconsin, of course, 9 wins. They could win the Big Ten. Minnesota right behind them at 8 wins. And Northwestern's got a very winnable game against Illinois to close the season. So they finished with 6 wins. Now all of a sudden, you're second behind Duke in terms of a 5-win team making it to a bowl if there are 2 spots unfulfilled. And by the way, Duke has Miami to close the season. So there's no guarantee that Duke makes it to 5 wins. But they have the #1 APR going in. I love the fact that, listen, nobody wants 5-win teams to be in the postseason, but that's where we are because we have so many bowl slots to fill. I love the fact that you're going to reward teams that are getting it done in the classroom.
We just faced a different animal tonight, a team that was hungry. And all that you described, they don't want to get in that way.
No, they want 6
wins. They don't want to
wins.
back in with a 5-7 record. They want to close the season again, win this one tonight, set it up for next week against Tennessee, a state rival game coming into this place, and win it and get into a bowl game the right way where you've earned your way in.
3rd down 7. With a win here tonight, they'll have a chance to do that next week as Tennessee comes to town.
Let me qualify that by saying on the field.
Yeah, sure. Pinckney with the catch, a 3-yard gain. We talked to Adam Butler yesterday. What would a bowl, making it back to a bowl, mean to you? He said it's simple. I love Vanderbilt football. I love everyone associated with this program.
Yeah.
And that simply means to me, as a senior, more time with these people that I love. That was one of the best answers I've ever heard anyone give.
It's one of the best sit-downs that we've been a part of as well. Laughing by the big fella, just a wonderful personality.
Put 232.
What would a bowl mean for Derek Mason?
Oh, it'd be huge. It's showing progress in the program. I think already, even without a bowl appearance this year, if they somehow come up short and they don't go, teams that have lined up against Vanderbilt this season, they know that this is a different program than when Derek Mason first started or first took over. You see the records there. It's progress.
No return for Davis after a 32-yard punt. So 38-17, our score with 2:21 to go. Tom Hart alongside Andre Ware. We'll be right back here for Tennessee next week, and that's going to be a game with magnitude now for this Vanderbilt program.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, this place will be buzzing. You'll get all the Vanderbilt fans in here, and it's Tennessee coming. They're going to bring a bunch of fans as well. This will be the happening place when we show up here next Saturday.
What do you think is the biggest difference for Derek Mason in terms of the growth of this program? Where did it come?
I think it's just trust, really, and the players trust the system. You're switching head coaches. There was a lot of change, both on offense, defense when he took over. And I think there's a trust factor between coach and players and coaches that you're going to go out and lay it on the line. You believe in what is going on now systematically on both offense and defense. And there you can see it. A lot of close games this year, both won and lost. but they're ever so close to turning the corner with Derek Mason.
Jason Pellerin in out of the bullpen for Ole Miss, replacing Shea Patterson. He finds Van Jefferson. This is an Ole Miss offense, which really on both sides is just kind of a shell of who they would be and should be due to injury and ejection tonight.
He's playing a lot of young players now as well. So fast forward to 2017, and you're gonna get some games from Vanderbilt next season.
Incomplete to Jefferson.
Warren Burks in coverage. Both he and Zach Cunningham, long-bodied players, are just so versatile. We can line him up at linebacker, can play safety. It's just not in the cards for Ole Miss tonight.
Javon Patterson is back at center, by the way, for Ole Miss. Pellerin finds Jefferson. Gain of 17. Jason Pellerin and Shea Patterson played each other in a state championship game at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Pellerin is from New Iberia, Louisiana. Patterson at that time was playing at Calvary Baptist in Shreveport. Patterson won that game. And he won the opportunity to replace Chad Kelly as Adeboyejo has this grab. By the way, Mississippi State got handled today by Arkansas. 58 points for Brett Bielema's Hogs. 58-42 is the final there.
That's a head-scratching team.
Arkansas.
One week they look like they have turned the corner, and then the next you just, how did they lose that one?
Quick hitter to the freshman A.J. Brown. Gain of 4. Really interesting to see how this Ole Miss team is prepared to handle the rivalry game with Mississippi State due to the injuries, the ineffectiveness tonight offensively. Remember, aside from that great touchdown drive they put together late, their lone score was aided by a muff punt and a short field.
Yeah.
Two touchdowns for this Ole Miss offense.
Well, and then now you got the talented receiver A.J. Brown, slow to get up.
I don't think the turkey is going to taste as nice to Hugh Freeze this Thanksgiving as it did last year.
Oh, he'll spend most of his time in the office. May grab a plate on the way out the door.
The running clock was stopped for a defensive player for an injury. This is subject to a 10-second runoff. Ole Miss elects not to take a timeout. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock.
This is a team that won 10 games last year. That led the SEC in scoring and total offense with Chad Kelly. They won the Cotton Bowl. Hugh Freeze has talked about that. He said, I know how important that game is to our fan base and what we're able to accomplish by getting there. Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
It does.
3 first-rounders on that team.
There's Burks showing his versatility again. He's just a long player at 6'3", 220. A lot of versatility to a defense.
Here comes the blitz. They get to Pellerin. It is out and complete to Judd. That'll set up 4th down as a game clock will wind out. Vandy will find win number 5. Ole Miss will go into its season finale needing to knock off Mississippi State to make it back to a bowl. Big win for Derek Mason and his Vanderbilt program. They are 1 win away from bowl eligibility, as is Ole Miss. There'll be a lot on the line for both teams going into rivalry games next Saturday. Our final score, Vanderbilt 38, Ole Miss 17. We got more coming your way from Nashville. We'll hear from Derek Mason in a moment. But first, let's get you to Dari and the gang back in the studio for SEC Now.